be buying things from in America, like trying to find those like links. And then, you know, if you made an Excel spreadsheet with all those different things that most likely would be affected and then invested based on that strategy, I bet you'd make a shitload of money. I haven't done that, but it's something I've been thinking about.
I see what you're saying. It's because the price gouging is like on a different level with tariffs too, though, right? Like it's a whole nother added layer, essentially.
What is price gouging, you said?
Well, the price being not necessarily gouging. Uh, what's when they're just competing on prices, right? And then you have like the tariffs layer on top of the competition of the normal price. Like I see what you're saying, and if you looked at the companies and found out which ones were consistently competing anyway, and then you've got like 2 layers of competition within each find, kind of because of the tariff, right? Like you got people trying to undercut it to make profit in this way, and people trying to undercut it to make profit in that way. Is realistically true. And then you could just be like even a middleman between it. You literally could buy from one company and sell to the other, and then buy aluminum, sell aluminum, like to aluminum people, and it would be all done for you essentially. I think that makes sense.
Yeah, and then a buddy of mine just recently started a company. Well, I say recently, in the last year and a half, he started a company, and he's been fucking making money with this. He hired a whole fucking team now that he has a like dedicated team that works for him, and all this dude did was he sat there and started looking at like different places where you can bid on jobs with hotels, and he like started bidding on certain jobs and just like procured the stuff they needed, like, you know, replacing doors, changing the carpet in the hotel and stuff like that. He just started bidding on these jobs and then hiring teams to do it. Started calling people and, you know, hey,
Wow.
how much will you do this for? Well, I need it done for this price. And then he would just hire some random team and go in to do the job. And he was just, I was like, what the fuck, dude? That's so smart.
So he's just finding the work and then
like
outsourcing
AI.
the guys that already do it anyway.
Yeah, that's literally all he did. You said middleman, and it just made me think of that, because
That's-
literally all he did was middleman the shit. And dude, he's making fucking bank.
He's just establishing connection. Yeah, I used to do that with weed in high school. I didn't want to move pounds, but like I could tell you about the guy who moves pounds.
Yeah.
Right? That's exactly the same. That's
Yeah.
crazy. Give me a lot of money too.
No, I mean, yeah, and he does it all from his house. And he said he works about an average of like 6 hours a day, something like that, just keeping everything going, organizing the jobs and stuff.
Yeah,
Pretty fucking wild.
You legitimately could just hire a guy to do that bidding for you if you kept his stuff on records too. That could be an easily outsourced job in itself to someone else too, right? And then you can give him whatever difference or pay that's agreed. And then like you can just show, hey, this is the job I got, so that guy's not able to scam you anyway, because this is all paid third party situations anyway that all have to be official. Like you literally could just hire somebody to do it for you.
You know, honestly, now that we talk out this job, this sounds like something that AI would do like a really fucking good job.
Well,
with.
okay,
And-
hold on,
and then,
hold on.
like, just
Let me go in this one.
passing it off to me to be in the middle to do all the actual negotiations and talking, but you know,
So-
doing all the middleman work of this.
My dad
maybe.
was talking about like AI assistants being the next revolutionary job thing that I should try to get into, which is essentially everything you just described. Basically, you create the AI though would be the difference here, and you create that business person, right? And then you make the model literally do specific tasks in how it does it and how it sounds when it does it, and then you sell this app essentially or this AI to people, and then they have it in like 5 years, like you said, which I also believe everyone's gonna be wearing smart glasses that do it all, right? So you press the button to activate your AI in your smart glasses, and you say, hey, I need you to connect this with that, and I need you to do it this way, and the AI does the fucking Google Voice call and sounds like a real person and fucking establishes your business appointments, parameters, all that shit for you.
I saw a video the other day where a guy used, it wasn't Google Glasses, but I don't know, one of these Meta glasses or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
And he used it to fix his air conditioner. So he described his issue, and it was looking at his air conditioner, figured out what model it was and everything, gave him step-by-step instructions, and was watching him while he was doing it. He like released a video and stuff, and it walked him through how to do everything, and he fixed his air conditioner himself. Never had to call a technician. And
Yeah.
the video I was watching was an HVAC technician like reviewing this video, and he was watching it and he was just like in the video just like, oh shit, like holy fuck, I might be out of a job, like
Yo.
this is actually nuts, like oh fuck, this is actually a problem.
Right. He was showing me the same thing too with the AI thing, how it doesn't just find a company to go do it for you. It actually lists all the ones that are local for the best price, and then it determines off the reviews which one would be the best one for the price, and then asks the guy like, which level would you want here? Would you want a better job for more money, or would you want the cheapest possible job with mediocre reviews and pay less? And it was like, okay, I'll set it up and I'll call him and I'll send him, and he just says go, and he's fucking on a beach chilling. Like, that's how simple this could be.
Yeah. Yeah, and that kind of workflow is actually not insanely hard to set up, and you can actually do this with like local models.
Yeah,
Like,
for free nowadays too. A bunch of them are free at
generally
this point.
speaking, which is completely free.
Yeah.
So that's pretty crazy.
It's fucking insane, dude. The potential with it's unreal. It really is.
Yeah, I'm working on I was spitballing some ideas with some people earlier, and the project I'm about to start working on is just figuring out. So I already created a mock website. Last night I created a mock website with a whole bunch of different information and fake inventory management data.
Mm-hmm.
And so now I'm going to create a rag and what's it called? The LoRa. I need to create a rag and a LoRa for the large language model so that it can retrieve that data really efficiently and not make any mistakes. And so like that's what I'm working on right now. But if I can get this working, that's like a fucking working local chatbot customer service agent for all these small businesses. That's like pretty simple to set up, and they just have to pay like a one-time fee for like hardware, and then maybe like just some sort of bullshit maintenance payment just in case anything goes wrong, that I'm on call for them. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to be able to set this thing up. If this thing works, dude, that's going to be huge, because that means that what took like a whole company to do, you can just do by yourself. And like that means you're going to be able to charge way less for the prices. There's no overhead cost, and
Jesus.
So you're going to be able to actually compete with big businesses in the chatbot arena. And I think that's huge. I think a lot of small businesses would benefit from this, especially tradespeople, like people that are, wanting to take calls at 7 o'clock, but they're eating dinner, so they're not going to, like people like that. I think this would be huge for. And that's such a crazy huge market. God damn, there's so many people in that market. You could get, if you had a good service, you could get 20 customers in like a month.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
How long you say? You said
Yeah,
the whole thing was
it
basically
could-
set up for you, like literally the whole thing.
Wait, what now?
The website itself was set up for you, other than that cost you were talking about for like insurance. I'm sorry. Did you say you used
The
AI
website?
to set it up, essentially?
No. It's just yes, but I did it. Man, are you talking about the website with the inventory management stuff in it?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I used AI to create that. Yeah, but I just had it come up with a bunch of fake numbers, and I just like directed Gemini CLI to do it. It's just a pretty basic static HTML document.
Nice.
Yeah. And it just has so I just created a static HTML document, and then basically it has an inventory button. And whenever you go to the inventory button, it has a bunch of like fake inventory in a spreadsheet. And, so I'm just using that to test it, because it's like, it has to click into the website, then click into the inventory. And so it's going to have to be able to like work through all of this stuff in an intelligent way, you know, and it's a pretty good test for it. If it can do that, then theoretically I should be able to like create websites for all these people, hook them up with a simple inventory management system if they don't have one already, and if they do, then just, you know, program it into their inventory management system or whatever they're doing. You know, I'm thinking about this a lot in terms of like auto repairs and stuff like that, so that people can call and ask about what's going on with their car, and they don't have to actually talk to anybody. They can talk to a bot that like has all the information.
I saw a guy recently on YouTube talking about like he just reaches out to small businesses to set up a website for him, and I forget the method he used, but I bet if you searched up something along those lines, like how to reach out to small businesses, he used like an economic way, like right, like I think he used a combination of like dates as to when the businesses were started and fresh, and then just found like a list of new businesses essentially, and ones that weren't. There was like a worth to it too, like new amounts that he had been able to identify at this point, and then he would just call them all individually and be like, "Hey, do you need a website?" essentially. And then,
yeah,
I mean, he's able to sell them for anywhere for 500 or 1,000 or whatever based on the business and their income and stuff, right? And he doesn't even have to know that.
Yeah,
you can just ask them what they're willing to spend.
I've created a website for a business down the road. I've been trying to hit people up, but that's why I kind of started doing this chatbot thing, because a lot of businesses, that the problem I'm running into is a lot of the small businesses around here, it's so fucking word of mouth that they just have zero confidence in like setting up or doing anything with a website or even a Facebook or anything. Like they just don't care at all.
Yeah, you need to establish some kind of reasons for why it's good and how it's going to genuinely benefit. Because once you have this consistently for a few people, you can show, hey, this is where they're at now type shit too, and this is what I did.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. And I built the website for the guy. I ended up charging him $300. You know, that was the first one I had done for somebody, so I did it super low ball. But I mean, you know, that was pretty simple, and you know, but that's whenever I started thinking like, it seems like I need to have a better selling point, because a lot of people don't care. But if I could be like, hey, well, it's also a customer service agent and it can handle all of your shit, blah blah blah, I think then they would be looking at it a lot different.
I don't think it's a bad idea to sell them that cheap off rip at all. I think that establishes the same shit I just said too, where you're like, hey, I've done it for 4 to 5 other people or whatever. Every single one of them, I'm not going to discuss the price we talked about, but I'll tell you how much they're making now, or I'll tell you fucking how much they like it, and then you can call them yourself for reference and say how much, you know, how much they're invested in it and use it now to this day, you know, stuff like that. And like you can talk to them about it. Right. And there's a lot of reasons why that's super beneficial, even if it is cheap right now.
Well, and it was cool too, because he was like the 6th person I had called. So I was like, dude, I'm about to make so much fucking money with this. But I've called like 100+ people since then, and like literally got no's from everybody. I've like went 20-30 miles out, and you know, just keep spreading out the radius. But you know, that's why I was like, man, I think I need to change my strategy. You know, I really think I need to have something more than just a website. These people don't care about a website.
Yeah, that's real. Apparently, that's possible, right? That sucks. But
it's good. I mean, like, this is, you know, because if I would have sat there and not made all the calls, then I would have been planning out, let's get really good at creating websites. Let me put all these hours into it. And then that's not even like an essential task. I can make a bullshit, you know, AI slop website. Nobody cares. And then as long as it has cool features, then that's what they care about. They care about the plus ones.
Right, that's real too. No, yeah, you're right though. You didn't spend a bunch of time doing nothing either. That's true as well.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yep. I mean, at the end of the day too, like, that networking isn't negative if you can find anything else to, you know, pitch that's realistic. They're at least familiar with you now, you know.
Right. Yeah. No, that's true.
especially if it gets to the point where, like I'm saying, if you just had a couple more people who did invest in it, you can show that their return, like I've been saying, or even like you said, a +1 of any kind, right? Like it doesn't almost matter what it is as long as it's something that they think they need. That's the whole point.
God damn, I got eaten by mosquitoes. Fucking shit.
Gotta hate that.
Sorry.
Bro, I got good blood.
Yeah, no, they.
I don't know what it is. They love I'm tasty, apparently. I absolutely hate that.
Yeah,
It's
they
some really
normally don't
funny
bother
light
me
things
too
about-
bad.
Say again, bro?
They normally don't bother me too bad, but I was walking around outside without a shirt on just now, and I kept saying, "Ah, man, I need to come in. I need to come in." But then
Oh, you need
they
to
got me.
you need to get some like rub or something, bro. I hate that feeling. I can't do it. I'd be scratching
Yeah,
shit at
they
myself.
bit me all over, dude. It's all over. Fuck.
What's up, other person? How you doing?
What's up?
What's up, person?
Huh?
What's up? How you doing?
Fine.
That's good. Yeah. Did you want to debate something? Talk about something? How's your day? You know what I mean? What's up?
I don't really debate. I don't really care for debating, but I'll discuss crap.
Fair. I like that. I mean, do you have anything that you would like to talk
What's
about,
your
person?
favorite topic to discuss?
Yeah.
I just like talking about real life stuff.
Word. Do you mean stuff
More
like directly?
practical stuff.
Yeah, so like stuff that maybe directly like affects you or everybody kind of stuff, general.
Say jobs, life, women, careers, hobbies, cars,
Feel it,
just
feel it.
whatever, just life stuff.
Yeah, I want to get famous to a level. I want to be like kind of big on Twitch. I don't want to be huge, but I want to be enough where like I got sponsors and the ability to like, you know, make money for other people or charity or something. I feel like that would be super cool. But I don't want to be so big and need a bunch. I just want my own stuff paid for, you know, and then be happy.
I want to become a statesman.
What's a statesman?
Like legislator, senator, representative, that stuff.
Word.
Governor, that stuff.
Word. Why do you want to do that?
I used to want to do that. I still halfway want to do that. That would be cool. But
Well,
it's
yeah.
such a disgusting industry that I have a hard time thinking that I'll ever actually do it.
Feel that.
well, that's you don't just start off. You don't just start off going into becoming a representative and instantly getting deals. You have to start off locally. And when you start off
Oh, yeah.
locally is not it's not super disgusting like it is on this like a state level.
Yeah, I
It's
can agree
actually
with you there.
practical, reasonable. You'll still get stuff
I
like
was,
you'll still get some stuff in there or whatever, like some lobbyists maybe. But no, for the most part, it's not really any lobbying going on locally that much.
I was a state delegate during the 2012 election and an electoral judge, and you know, I got in during an election cycle and stuff like that, and so you know, it was a little bit, you know, kind of weird, and I had a negative experience with the Republican Party during that whole thing, and the RNC. They basically, so I don't know if you recall during that year, Ron Paul was running versus Mitt Romney,
Oh, when was this?
2012.
Oh, I was fucking 10 years old then. I remember hearing about that in like the 3rd grade.
So Ron Paul was running against Mitt Romney for the
Yeah.
Republican primary, and what happened was Ron Paul had this like secret plan where he was going to get this like grassroots movement, and basically the way that the primaries work is you have like a public election and you have like a vote, but the state delegates actually, just like electoral college people, state delegates in the primary can overturn the popular vote. And so what the plan was is all of us Ron Paul state delegates, we were all going to win the delegation, everything like that. Then we were going to go up into the at the place where you like put down your vote. We were going to all vote for Ron Paul, and then Ron Paul would win Texas. And so what ended up happening is the RNC ended up finding out about this plan, and they came through with these letters and made us like sign these letters saying that we were going to vote for Mitt Romney. Well, a lot of us like just didn't sign the letters and stuff like that. And look, we had been coordinating this stuff, so we actually had over half of the state delegates at this time were Ron Paul delegates. Like, we had the numbers counted, and we were all in this text message group, and we're like, holy fuck, this plan's actually going to work. And we were ready. Well, the RNC ended up having security at the doors on the floor, and everybody that they suspected was one of these Ron Paul delegates, they had the security escort us out, and we weren't allowed to go onto the floor to vote in the Texas primary. So they like completely just kicked us out. And after that experience, I was like, holy fuck, this shit is dirty. This shit is controlled and it's dirty. They don't care about grassroots movements. They don't care.
I want to see if I got that right. Okay, so you're a delegate in Texas back in the 2012 election, and you were going for the primary and for Ron Paul, and you had half or over half the delegates that were working together.
I think it was like 26 or 36 delegates. I can't remember now, but we had like over half of the delegates. Yeah.
So you had over half the delegates, and they put security up to stop you from going in and voting, or what?
Yeah, they put security up. First, they came through with like this document saying that we would pledge to vote for Mitt Romney, and I think they tried to use that to like look at our faces and get an idea of our reaction, and then they like documented, okay, like all of these people had weird reactions whenever we asked them to sign the paper. Don't let any of those people on the floor. And all the people that were like super happy and excited to vote for Mitt Romney, they let them go on the floor to vote, but they locked all of us out. And I mean, like literally locked the door.
Is that even allowed?
Security
security
escorted us out.
Is that even allowed?
So what I learned, I didn't know this at the time. What I learned is that the Republican Party is a private institution. So if they can just kick you out at any time. So it's not it's not like a protected government thing. It's a private event.
That's incredible. That's crazy as hell.
Yeah, it's crazy. So that's what I mean by the fact that like it's really disgusting. It's really dirty. There's this thing about it that it's very controlled, money control stuff. And also, I saw how the voting machines worked, and after you put in your vote, whenever you do the voting machine, the electoral judge then goes and signs a receipt. Okay, so you print it out after everything's done. You print it out, and then the Republican and Democrat electoral judge both sign the receipt. And then once it's signed, one of you takes everything, whether it's the Democrat or the Republican person, you take everything to this to this like county central place, right? So you go to this county central place, and then you turn in your little receipt and the voting machine thingies. And so you turn all this stuff into them, and then they take it and send it to a private company. So like after I have signed the receipt and given it to them, it goes to a group of people in the county in some warehouse, and then from there it goes to a private company. And all like both of those steps are steps that could be like highly corrupted, like that's not very transparent at all. So I started like creating an issue about this, and I brought it up at I forget what it was. I think it was a county. There was some sort of county Republican meeting, and I brought it up, and I was saying, there's these two spots where it seems like the voting machines are messed up. Now I'm this like young 22-year-old running my mouth, and they were just like, well, first of all, we think it's a perfect system and blah, blah, blah. And they're like going off on it and getting mad at me. And then they were like, and second of all, we get federal funding because we use the voting machines. And if you think that we're going to let you make our county lose money, you got another thing coming, son. You got another. And they were like yelling at me and stuff. I was like, holy shit, man, this is crazy.
That is fucking crazy. That's not normal.
So I don't know, do your thing. I'm not saying don't get into politics and stuff like that, but just when you go to get in it, understand that it's a money-driven.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So
it's bad.
Red Hawk, bro, can I ask this? Like, I mean, you just said what other experiences have you had where you're like fully aware this is what kind of situation you're getting into? And it's like stuff you've heard maybe you're even questionable about, like, do you have anything that's like, deterring you, or are you dead set on this? Do you really just want to keep doing it?
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm not the only one going in there and doing stuff like this. There's a bunch of other people at Human Capital. We're working with each other. It's not a singular organized group or whatever. It's a disjointed it's more of a disjointed hearsay group or whatever.
Yeah. But is there any stories you have that are like, like he just gave you, like something that's like, why would any of that even happen? Have you heard stuff from other people?
Oh, I'm well aware of the CIA and Israel's influence in the government and big businesses.
Yeah.
Tech industry. There's just so many lobbies, but very specifically the CIA and the Israel.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. I'm glad to hear that you're somebody that's like skeptical of the CIA and Israel, and you want to get into politics. We need a bunch of. You sound a little bit younger. You don't sound super young or nothing. What are you, early 20s or something?
I'm 23.
Yeah, so
that's funny.
It's good to see these young people sitting here wanting to do this. Like that's
like
fucking awesome.
The exact age from when your story happened.
I mean, right now I have a very credible life story. I'm not going to give my life story. I don't want to dox me, but
yeah.
Yeah, in private, but
yeah,
you could.
No, you're right. He's the age that I was whenever I started.
Right? Isn't that wild?
Into that election.
Yeah, I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth.
If I want to say,
my whole story is very credible.
I'm down to hear it.
Authentic.
I'm down to hear it too, for the record, in the future. If you wanted to add me and stuff, we could talk off stream for the record. Or if you wanted to do it now too, you just have to take my word or come look on the. I can cut the Discord audio entirely if you feel like talking about it now. As far as like they could hear me talk even, or I could just mute both of us, and you could talk if you wanted to. I don't want to pressure you or nothing, but I can keep this off the record essentially, right?
Oh, okay.
It's up to you, though.
I'm still not gonna. I wasn't even thinking about that, but I'm still not gonna give my life story.
Okay.
But, I got plans myself, like getting a degree, like going into the military and getting a degree, and then acting locally.
Good. That sounds smart to me. Fucking A. Just any way you get some backing on your background.
Oh yeah. I know when I plan to get involved in local politics. I'm in my mid to late 20s, but I'll be. I know when I get in there, when I get going locally, I'd be presenting as a very authentic person.
I agree.
Well,
a young, very authentic, high achieving person.
I agree with Frog, for the record. I think we do need more young people to get into it, because that's kind of the problem, is the old heads at this point. And been the problem.
Oh yeah, for sure. And the problem is, I think actually, if we had an organic political system, I actually think right now we would be seeing like a wave of like, low 30s, older 20s. We would be seeing like a wave of these people coming in as mayor, coming in as this, coming in as that. We would be seeing this in droves right now because we're so sick of the old heads. But it's not happening because all of the systems have sets of controls. I mean, like, this is the honest truth. Senator, and I think this is going to be one of the things that come out of this whole like investigation that's going on, or hopefully it will, because this is something that's been known in the underground conspiracy circles for a long time. Senator seats are not an organic thing, or in Congress seats are not an organic thing. Those are bought and sold. Like, those are bought and sold by people, and it's an organized thing. Ted Cruz didn't win the senatorship in Texas coincidentally. He had a shitload of money behind him. Like, the story of how Ted Cruz became a senator even is wild. I mean, the whole thing is absolutely insane. And, you know, this is the story behind all these motherfuckers. It's very, very hard to be, and it's not impossible. Look, it's not impossible. I think organic people do get into the Congress, do get into the Senate. Not everything is bought and sold 100%, but a lot of them are bought and sold. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, I don't trust them by default, but more specifically, I just don't trust most of them in general.
Have you been following the stuff with Karen Bass and Gavin Newsom and the Palisades fire and like all the fallout from all that shit?
Gavin Newsom.
The lead guy.
Remind me who he is.
It's California senator.
So Gavin Newsom is the California governor.
Governor.
And
Sorry.
then Karen Bass is the mayor of the mayor of the Palisades area. And so basically there's like a bunch of weird shit. There's actually a phone call with Karen Bass where she's like calling somebody. I don't know who she's calling, but the person ended up like releasing the recording. And it's Karen Bass sitting there talking to this guy, being like, look, you know, I can't say too much, but reading between the lines, you need to stay safe and, you know, blah, blah. She's basically cryptically telling him he needs to get out of there for a while. And this was like right before the fires. And then that's weird. But then the other thing that's a big deal is Gavin Newsom the governor raised like $100 million or something insane about like rebuilding this area.
And then the fires happened.
And well, no. This was after the fires. He raised like $100 million, and he gave the money to this specific non-government organization to do like all this charity work. And then that non-government organization like took half the money and just like took it in as profits. Well, that non-government charitable organization is ran by Gavin Newsom's wife. So basically, he raised a bunch of money as governor and then pocketed half of it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
For organizing it, I guess, or whatever. And all of this is coming out. And there's way more, but it's pretty fucking insane.
It fucking disgusts me. These people are already so rich, and they just keep fucking selling out their own country just to be even more. Like, what's the point of having like more millions and millions more dollars? Like, what's the point? You already have everything you'll ever need.
I don't know. They're satanic, dude. It's
like that just fucking disgusts me.
It's absolutely disgusting. And look, all those people that their houses burned down, stuff like that. A lot of those people are super rich, and it's not too big of a deal in terms of that. Like, they're all going to be okay financially, but still, like, you lost your house, you lost your prized house. You know, you can't rebuild it. They're not letting you rebuild it. Everything is, they're putting in like government housing there, that, you know, and like bidding out all these contracts already, because what they're saying, a lot of these houses got built in like the 40s, 50s, and 60s. They didn't have good enough septic systems for today's standards, and they're all like right there on the beach and all this kind of stuff. And so like, the septic systems aren't up to par. So in order to rebuild the houses up to code, they would have to invest like $2 to $3 million for these like fancy septic systems that are protected against the, you know, beach conditions. And so you're talking about $3 million just to start construction on the house. And like, you know, it's just ridiculous for a lot of the people. And so that whole area is just getting bidded out, and government housing is getting put in. It's pretty fucking wild. They're installing what they're calling a smart city. And it's crazy too, because they had a plan for this like 2 years ago. Yeah, it's pretty wild. The same thing happened in Maui. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. I know there's a lot of like-minded folk and people who are actually becoming elite human capital. I don't believe in swaying the masses or whatever. The masses' opinions come from, it's top down. Most people's opinions are not organic.
Yeah, well, any of my parents' opinions have to be verified by Fox News or Newsmax, so they're not allowed to have an opinion unless they hear it out of that stream of information first.
Yeah, I know when the Iran stuff was going on, I told my mother that Trump's just gonna bomb Iran, probably get us into a war there, and Israel's instigating a war with Iran. And she said, Trump's not making a deal. He needs to make a deal. He warned him. And I said, you don't know anything about Iran. You don't know anything about international politics in the Middle East. Like, are you fucking, I'm this like history autist international politics guy, and you're telling me about international politics, like what you know is fact.
Yeah.
It's like your knowledge of that whole subject is child level.
Yeah, that's how it feels.
But she acts all arrogant, like she knows what she's talking about. I just hate it when people are like that.
Yeah,
they have no depth on the subject.
You
Got
to be careful with your parents, though. You know, I mean,
yeah.
like I kind of
was just telling her, don't talk to me like you know what you're talking about on a subject I'm very well versed on. You know that.
Yeah.
You do have one mom, bro.
I'm a grown ass man. Don't talk to me like that.
I kind of, with my parents and stuff, like, I kind of talk to them in terms of, like, as if they agree. And then if they don't agree, then I just agree with whatever position they have. And because I've gotten into it so many times, then it's went so poorly that I just find it so much easier just to agree with whatever position they have and just keep the relationship. Because I can't do it anymore. Like, it's too many. It's too frustrating to sit there and know I'm right and to try to convince them, and then I'm like looking at them like they're dumb, and it's just annoying.
I agree with all that.
Boomers will never understand. These people grew up with just TVs and newspapers.
I agree with the whole difference, though, of like not trying to. It's still the only relationship you're gonna have with that person. Like, it's your mom, bro. You know, and you don't. It's not your job to convince them.
That's all that whole conversation was. I didn't continue with it. I didn't even try to argue with her about it. I just said, I know what I'm talking about. I'm very well versed. You know that.
Right. I think we're both just saying the relationship is important. And
you're just giving your opinion just from what the State Department's telling you. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. No, it's frustrating. It's super frustrating. I agree.
Yeah.
No, it's extremely frustrating.
Like, Trump's doing a good job. He's all this stuff's doing all this stuff. Is that what the State Department's telling you? I know she told me if I don't like what Trump's doing, I should just leave the country. I'm like, what a very immature argument, but whatever. Just stop talking about this stuff then if you're going to be like that.
Right.
I've heard someone else use that argument on this Discord. Is that coming from somewhere?
What is it? Just leave the country?
Well, if you don't like a certain something, leave the country.
Oh, dude, they've been saying that. Republicans have been saying that for 20 years, bro.
Oh, I know I was talking to this guy about democracy because I was talking about I'm not a fan of mob rule. I don't think everyone should be allowed to vote, and he's like, "Well,
Yeah.
if you don't like it, you should just leave the country." And I said, "Well, the country wasn't even founded on that. So if all the people who wanted to change the way the voting system worked back then, they should have just left the country." And your logic.
Yeah, that's the dumb thing about the laws. The point is to talk about and debate the laws. I mean, that's the point of the Constitution. That's an ever-changing document.
And I told him like I aspire to have revolutionary change to the system. He's like, "Good luck with that. Go move to another country." And it's like, well, I mean, I'm not the only one participating in this, and this is a multi-generational movement, and there's a lot of elite human capital that are getting involved in this. And revolutionary change has happened in countries before, and I just gave him a few examples like Stalin, Mao, Hitler, the American Revolution. Like, things have happened before. And then he just instantly went to go to like mass murderers or whatever. And it's like, you completely ignored my whole point. Just that you can go from one system and completely change it to another. It's happened before. We used to be a colony under British rule, and then now we're not.
Good point. So what kind of policies do you want to see happen?
Like regarding to what? It's very vague.
That's pretty vague. I mean, what are some of the things you're more passionate about even? Like, what do you really feel like you want to change?
My number one concern is sovereignty and getting rid of corruption. And a part with that would also be with the voting system.
Right? I agree. That
would probably be my most major concern. But I mean, if I was to become a representative, that's not exactly what I'd be focusing on. I'll be focusing more on state level stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, that's my biggest concern. I mean, there's other stuff too, like AI taking a bunch of people's jobs, immigration, a national identity.
I actually don't think AI is going to end up taking any jobs. I think what's going to end up happening is it's going to allow like a single person to do, like, you're going to see a transition of a less, like, I'm not saying corporations are going to go away. I'm just going to say what used to take 10 people to do is going to take one person to do. So you're going to see a lot more like small businesses and a lot less big businesses. Like, it's going to transition a little bit. I think that's going to be the consequence of AI. Not really like people like being out of work.
Well, I get that.
I don't know.
It's going to displace a lot. This is a lot different from the Industrial Revolution. This is way different.
I agree.
AI is it's completely different. Like, say, like, I mean, like right now, I'm a truck driver. There's already truck driving jobs being replaced by AI. They're testing it out in Texas and California.
Yep, I heard about that recently.
Right.
These are good paying middle class jobs that don't require mountains of debt to get into.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. There's definitely like a thing with truck drivers, like all that's going to be automated.
Like that,
for sure.
I think that job specifically should be protected because it's such a good paying job without massive amounts of debt. It's a very unique experience for a job. And if you want to drive down the cost of things, the number one thing if you want to do that is fuel. Either get an alternative or lower the cost of fuel. But I mean, there's other stuff too, like the trucking industry. A lot of prices are fucked over by the brokers. Like they'll go and take like a 10, 20% pay cut, maybe even more from a load. Just so basically you'll have a shipper, they'll put a load on a load board, and what a broker do, they'll act as a middleman and they'll take that load and then they'll sell it off to a company. So they'll go sell it to like Knight or Prime or whatever, and they'll have a load that's for like $4,000 or whatever, and they'll take $1,000 out of that for themselves.
Right. Well,
Just from taking the load from the shipper and giving it to the company, and that company still has to pay for the driver, the truck, the insurance, the fuel, the risk, all that stuff. And these brokers are just robbing people. I mean, that's one way right there to reduce cost. But even replacing truck drivers with AI,
I don't know.
it's not gonna reduce the cost of stuff that much, if at all. It's just gonna increase profit margin.
If I were you, what I would do is I would take that knowledge that you have about the trucking industry, right? And I would sit there and say, okay, like, where can I use AI in this to like simplify part of this structure? Like, well, maybe it's possible for you to become a broker. You know, maybe you transition into a broker and you like manage the logistics of automated shipments or something like that. And that, like you understand how the industry works.
Yeah, well, I'm not going into well, I actually did see that there are people actually using AI now to do brokers.
Yeah, of course. And this is what I mean. Like maybe it doesn't even like, maybe you end up like making more money than you ever could have dreamed of because you use AI systems to like manage brokers.
I don't plan on doing this. I don't plan on doing this forever.
No.
But mainly because I don't want to be over the road forever, and locally is only going to pay so much. And I want to get into the military, the National Guard, and go into aviation. And I'll use all those benefits and stuff to pay for a degree and have a large family and like the house loan shit, and to pay for me to get my aviation licenses. And also be doing local politics.
I like aviation. It's really cool stuff. Flying is really cool. I'm afraid of heights, but like flying ain't too bad. It still wrecks my nerves, but it's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Aviation would be crazy. To see things nobody else sees.
I think there should be a civic test to just like it can just be so basic, but just at least like a basic civic test to just be able to vote. Like, do you know how a bill is passed? Do you know like when the country was founded? Do you know who the current president is? Just that kind of stuff. Like just very simple stuff, and that would like weed out so many people. Can you name the countries that America borders? Can you name the capitals of the country that America borders? Or can you name the 50 states? Just like that's very simple stuff.
I don't think that's a bad idea, at least on the front level. I don't know if the goal though is to get rid of people who you think are disingenuous and help the logic of voting. I don't know how much it actually does that. I feel like at the same time.
It's that the masses of people are very dubious, very short-term thinking. If you have a politician going up there proposing short-term losses for a long-term benefit, people are going to just say no to that because people don't want to endure hardship short-term. If also the masses of people can be easily swayed by media, TVs, just whatever that's posted in front of their face. Most people don't think organically themselves. They see something and they think about what they see.
So you're saying more of like a coherency test for the people that are just not trying?
Just like a basic information test, because it could just be a basic information test.
Well, right, but I don't see
information about America and the world and whatever. and like a civics test.
I just don't see how it helps. Still, like I get what you're saying.
It weeds out people who won't put it. If you care that much about wanting to be able to vote someone to represent you or to lead the country, you need to be willing to know this basic information, or at least put in the effort to study.
Again, though, you think that
Someone
really
who's-
helps the country with like better voting?
Yeah, it would decrease the amount of people who are voting, which would make the people who actually know more what they're talking about. It would make their votes matter more, since there's less people who are just voting for stupid shit because they don't know anything about anything. Like you take an 18-year-old who just got out of high school. What does that 18-year-old know about anything? That 18-year-old has much to say as someone who owns a home, someone who owns a business, or a lawyer, a doctor, a CEO. That person has as much of a say as all those other people.
Yeah, I don't know. I think this is dangerous
Like,
territory.
that's just not right. That's not right to me. That's not practical. It encourages mediocrity when you allow everybody to vote. That's not to say that everybody can't have representation. But I mean, you can have a specific office for people to send complaints or whatever about the country. You could make a specific office for that. I mean, you could write to your representative. Anybody can do that. Just most people don't.
I guess the problem, just intuitively, one problem is like what incentivizes, protection. I mean, we're kind of just going off of the thing that to say like, oh well, if the people that are more invested, they're just going to make better decisions and more moral decisions and stuff like that, just by
Yeah, I don't think
default,
those things
because they're,
even
like,
correlate.
better, more reasonable, smart people. But like, what incentivizes them to like protect people or do anything for people that are like not in their, like people that don't own land or something like that? Whatever metric you're using to people that can't pass this test or whatever.
No, and the thing is, it's supposed to be so basic that anybody could pass it if they just put in the time to look up this basic information.
Right, and so
Anybody could
so
do
this
it.
is the thing, and why
Everybody
we
has
don't
a
have
phone.
that.
Everybody has YouTube. Everybody can go on the internet
Right.
and study tests. It's a very basic test,
But like,
and people should know at least the very basics of how the country is even run.
let me ask it this way: how does that actually help the vote in one way or another?
That helps because I don't think people who don't understand even how the basic functions of the country should be able to vote. That's how it helps.
Like, I hear you, but it just seems like again, like
If you
that.
want
That's.
to vote,
Do you think that
if you want to
changes?
vote for someone who's going to lead the country and lead your state, like being able to know how bills are passed or how just any just basic information about the country.
Yeah, okay, so hear me out. This is my point, though. And I'm hearing what you're saying. I'm taking in all this, right? I really am. I'm playing a game that requires zero attention. I'm listening to everything everybody's saying, right? Terraria, playing this super easy child game, right? So I hear you. But, like, I just don't see how that, like, helps the difference in the vote still. Because they're still set on whatever plan they're set for to vote for, right? And those things don't actually in any way align with the basic questions of fundamental country logic. Because at the end of the day, if someone's going to take that test or vote regardless, they're voting for whatever practices and changes someone's making to the country. And those changes and those passions they have to go in and initially vote don't get swayed by them having to take a competency test, right? Like, at the end of the day, that didn't actually, I don't feel like it does anything, bro. I don't think it's like you're saying the 18-year-old thing, and I kind of get that. Like, it may check like the new generations a little bit that didn't have any use in understanding politics, but then like literally the only thing I see it doing is them researching more about the country, which makes sense to be why.
Well, what's wrong with that?
Well, yeah, but there isn't anything wrong with it, but there isn't anything that gains from it either, because these same people are the ones who are going to go vote, right? Like, those same people, like, you're the only people that are voting at 18 that don't care to vote and are voting are the ones that are being incentivized by all this other random shit that they're, to go vote. If you don't vote, you can't talk or whatever. They're not going to want to or care to do or learn from anything that they do extra work for just to get to do that vote now too. If they do have any real interest in it and want to make their vote matter and then think about it like it matters, I just don't think this promotes that, right? It doesn't promote them really learning about what their vote means as far as what they're actually voting for. Not necessarily that it's not important, but that's all I'm hearing you stress, is that it's important to know why your vote matters at the root level. But like, that's not going to change their...
I already told you to weed out people from voting, the people who don't know anything about anything from voting.
Well, yeah, but that same incentive is already given in what I'm saying, where people are like, if you don't vote, you can't speak on it, right? And then people who don't have any clue or know what they're voting for vote anyway. But I don't know. You could be right that there's people who are so lazy and don't care about their vote so much that are just being, and then they find out there's a test and they're like, nah, I'd rather not do the test. I guess I won't vote. And those people I at the same time agree that don't have any sensical reason to their vote. I agree in that way. That makes sense. Yes.
Like, look, just go to some random woman on the street. Go to some random 20-year-old high school kid in college.
They don't care.
Ask them very basic civic questions, and most of them wouldn't get majority of them right.
Correct. I agree with that too. I don't think it's wrong to put out education. I don't know that the requirement to vote actually does anything useful towards the same vote, because it's like if the test is so rudimentary that anybody could do it, that's like, again, in the position like we're talking about, a kid who doesn't really want to vote or care that much, just has to do it because his family's trying to push him into it, or his girlfriend's trying to make him do it now because she's super political. Like, he didn't actually do anything different other than be convinced by the real aspects of that vote or the person who's telling him to vote. Your test
now he knows more about the country and how it works. So I mean,
that's where I agree with you. That is a positive in that way. I agree with you in that regard. But I still don't think it helps a better vote come out for what that person really cares about either. Like, if the test was implemented in a more passionate way and not just like the rudimentary reasons of why we vote, right? Or like the basic shit you feel is important to know, then maybe they would care. But there isn't like a passion level behind that until someone does, right? So I just still don't see it like being like a big change of any kind.
I mean, I disagree. I think just putting a basic civic test like that would drop the voter turnout by like 30% at least.
Yeah, I don't think that's realistic either. I think the number would be much smaller, if at all. I think it would be like 5.
I think it'd probably be even higher than that, but that's just my low estimate. Let's say about 30% to half, at least, would fail.
My biggest issue isn't with the policy in principle, actually. I just think it's absolutely 100% unrealistic, because
let him finish.
Any county that ever went to actually put this plan into effect, it would disproportionately affect black people. And the second that happened, which we know it would, right?
That's a good point.
The second that happened, it would scream that it's a racist policy and that it disproportionately affects black people and
minorities is the better word here.
Well, yeah, I completely agree with you.
Let's say minorities in the future, just because it makes more sense in general.
I completely agree with you. Like, trying to propose this right now is impractical. But that's what I'm saying. Like, there's people like me. There's people who are building themselves and getting credibility and becoming elite human capital. And over time, you can make change.
Yeah,
absolutely. I agree with
maybe
all that
it
too.
won't happen, maybe it will, but who knows? But I mean, I'm a very ambitious person. I aspire to create change.
I want to reemphasize and make sure we're heard. We're not calling anybody by specific races in this channel. We're not going to do that. Just to be clear again, minority is a way better word that still describes the better fundamental way of saying this overall, because it's not just one race of any kind, right?
What?
Even though one is targeted more in the well, listen.
Saying,
okay, but let me finish. Let me finish.
If it's true or not, I'm just saying that
one minority is targeted more.
As a thing that
is racist, right? Yeah.
They would.
But that's why minority is still a better word to fit.
Oh yeah,
bro, stop saying black, please, if we could. That'd be so cool.
He's on like Twitch or something.
I'm talking specifically about the.
Well, I'm talking that you're specifically wrong. That's not
Twitch
true.
Or something black's like a curse word or something.
It is, bro. It's I'm live on the internet. Okay, so if you know, then stop saying. Okay, and I get that. I'm not trying to influence your character, but I think the more mature word here that fits accurately. Like, I'm not going to argue with you that Western media doesn't do exactly what you're saying in a realistic way. They say it just like that, but this isn't the news, and I can't I can't propagate different words. So like, let's keep it
But
just
I'm
minority
not
is the
talking
word.
about minorities.
Bro, well, okay, but you
I'm
are
not talking
technically.
about
That's
minorities,
that's
though.
that's like
Can we
it.
move on past this? Like,
That'd be
can we
so
just move on
cool.
to
That'd
that?
be so cool.
You
But
two are
Yeah,
just
I
going
mean,
again,
back and
we
forth.
can. It's just like I wasn't speaking in a general term. I was being very specific.
exactly.
And I
That's what I
wasn't
don't
saying
agree
anything
with.
bad about a specific thing either.
Yeah, but that word is the issue, brother. That's what I'm trying to clarify right now. It's not that you're wrong or right. It's that that word is the issue. That's why I'm saying use a substitute word. That's it. It's what this is, dude.
Oh
It's what.
my.
That's it,
Saying blacks?
brother.
Should we go? Did you kick him out?
Oh, absolutely. I have to like implement something to make him understand that this is a thing that gets me and my hundreds of followers currently that I've worked on for fucking 2 months useless, and my time and my job irrelevant now. Do you understand? Like this is a job for me at current level. I'm trying to promote and do good things here with this eventually, but currently I don't even have a following. And if I just get to this point and start up over one debate over nothing that doesn't even matter, I fully agree, doesn't matter. That's my security and my job that I'm doing. I made hundreds of bucks already, brother. I can't just like drop it for one person. I didn't ban him. I disconnected him to understand the seriousness. It's in the fucking title of the room, right?
I
Like,
don't know.
go look at TikTok's terms of service. Go look at Twitch's. Go look at YouTube's. None of that is okay.
Yeah, I got the same. I got the same exact opinion on him on that. But I just know you're doing the Twitch thing, and I'm like, okay, fine. That's what you.
Well, again,
want to police language.
I don't have a point in agreeing with that at all. I think these are private companies that choose to do it. But at the same time, I think a mature adult can substitute words and not have a problem doing that either. I don't feel like it takes that much effort. Right? Like, I don't agree with any of the logic there at all personally, but I think it's part of how this works. And I'm a part of it, right? I don't have a choice. I don't agree with suppression. I hope all these platforms get in some way forced to change that logic, dude. I absolutely agree that it's not okay. At the same time, I don't think it's such a big deal to switch out your verbiage a little bit. I love English. I love the words I use. And
I'm pretty sure black people's not a censored word on Twitch.
correct.
That's what he said, though.
No, it's not. He did not just say that. That's like discussing the word itself. That's not labeling a people for a reason that this wouldn't work as a thing. That in itself is derogatory. I promise you I'm right on this.
Bruh.
Jesus Christ, dude. How hard is that to comprehend? I'm not telling you to not fucking God, people, man. How much effort is that really? To just sit here and not do that? On repeat, mind you. God, bruh. I just... People are great. People are great. Make me out to be the asshole. Love that too. Simple way to win the anger there. Incredible stuff. Incredible stuff. Bro is still down here. Oh, my skeleton. So we hit that earlier, and we shoot arrows and hopefully take him out. Nice. Yo ho, we got the loom. Divine rope collector. No way, a whole nother chest and tree? Bruh. Boomerang? Incredible stuff here. Incredible. There ain't no way there's 2 whole trees here. Bruh, there's 2 trees. Ooh, the climbing claws. We don't need... Don't even need a grapple or the rope. We can just fall. Whole another chest. Probably gonna make that storage room soon. Whole another freaking cave to explore over here. This one should connect to that tree.
Open wounds and closing doors. Been here before, not again. We cannot hide.
And there's nothing else. Okay.
Too many stories.
I think we just lay back, keep this gold. Yep. Yep. We're gonna have to make some of the storage room now. 'Cause More room to craft stuff, man. Getting all the tools.
You won't know if you walk away. All we have done will play our song. Now, before you go, can you tell me where the hope has gone? Can you tell me where the love went wrong? Do you remember what it sounds like? We can turn the love back on. 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 We can turn the
Where'd the loom go?
We can turn the love back on. We can turn the love back on.
So I think if I remember right, I take cobwebs here. Right, like that. I go into the crafting again, and I should be able to make like silk. Right.
Painting every fence I know. Every color bleeds into the same. 'Cause before you go and walk away, yeah, you better know where you're going.
Okay, let me talk to the guide, bro. He's just showing me what I'm doing wrong here. And then there's silk, fires loom, cobweb. Okay, so is this not? This is not an actual loom. No, that's what's going on here. Nice. Hello, person.
I'm just a person to you?
Hello.
Hello.
How you doing, Vinny?
How I'm doing.
That's good, bro.
I hope I left a better impression by hanging out and leaving, or attempting to leave on, like, not running away terms.
No, yeah, you're good. I didn't get that vibe at all. Yeah, bro, it's all good.
What types of talks have you had tonight?
Well, we were getting really political, and then, bro, you know Frog, perchance?
No.
Okay, well, there's this guy, Frog, something the Frog. He was like,
Brother Frog.
Brother Frog.
Message in chat.
Yeah, that guy. We're good and stuff, I thought, but then like, and we were having a lot of talk about a bunch of different stuff, and then bro was starting to say a specific type of people on repeat, and just wouldn't think that it was okay to just say a different word of any kind to describe the same situation. and I ended up like kicking him because like he even started getting worse with it. And my point was that like we could just say a different word, dude. It doesn't have to be like this complex, right? Or minority even. Like you don't have to say that specifically because of these platforms. Not me, again. And he just kind of got worse with it. And so I booted him one time. I didn't ban him, but like he just didn't return. And the other guy he was debating with too consistently was, you know, on his side, of course. They want to make me feel like the asshole. But all that just happened like 5 minutes ago.
Oh, damn.
Yep. Which again, I get it, and I can't do anything about it at the same time. So, I don't know what they want from me. You know?
I do know.
Like, what am I doing, bro? I'm doing this. This is what you came into. It's not that I'm a dick or care. It's just what it is. You know? You know.
No,
You know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
What are you guys talking about?
Whatever.
Am I live?
You are. We are on Twitch, TikTok,
Alright.
YouTube, all of it.
How many people? Be
I don't know.
honest.
I'm not looking. Is really the rule
Oh.
I've set for myself, and it goes pretty good.
Okay.
Like,
All right. What's the topic then?
Whatever you
Or
want, bro.
like, what do you shoot? Okay. I guess we can do the Israel-Palestine thing.
Okay. I'm down.
Okay. So, do you guys have an opinion on it? Do you side with one side? Like, what's your opinion?
I couldn't be more removed, so I am the wrong person to ask.
What about the other guy?
I mean, I'm, to be honest, kind of in a similar boat. I don't really know enough to put a stance. I feel like all
That's
words...
fine. That's fine. That's
that-
fine. Because this question I'm going to ask, I just want to know the answer.
Okay.
Why is it that society follow trends? Okay, so for example, this movement of anti-Israel, this pro-Palestinian movement, right,
Mm-hmm.
that you see all around, is only propped up when the word spreads, right? Where are the people when like the Uyghur China situation? They weren't propped up for that. It's only because it was like a trending thing. So my question is, why do people go for the trending thing? Like, where were they with the China Uyghur stuff? Where were they with the Iraqi? You know what I mean?
I have an answer for this. I feel like the only people that aren't going for specific things are the people that are also not passionate about anything else, right? Like the ones who are trying to actively push a movement on a consistent basis, the majority of those aren't jumping on that boat, right? But the people that don't have that goal of some kind that's real or big to them, they are, because they have nothing else to fight for other than what their friends keep throwing at them to fight for. You know what I'm saying? So it's not that I feel like there's even a trend, it's that people just don't care enough to do anything
In
of
other
their
words,
own.
they're LARPers. They're really not. They really don't have this like passionate. They're just
Yeah.
doing what they're told, and it's just good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just good to them because it's something that they think overall is supposed to be for a betterment of something, and they don't know anything that they personally want to benefit in that way, or even realistically passionate enough. And most of those people are the sheeple people talk about, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's
You just said sheeple. I actually would go even further and say that like it's born of narcissism.
yeah, no, that could be
It's the
accurate as hell.
same. It's the same type of thing as like. Did you just kick him, or did you just accidentally leave?
I would assume he left.
All right.
I didn't kick him, but you know, there's been a few people who just disconnect consistently and then come right back in after a bit, like their computer messed up or something. So I don't know.
Sometimes it happens to me where I'm just dumb and I'm like talking mid-sentence and I'm just like going around Discord looking at random messages or other servers and whatever, and then I see the update button and I like subconsciously tell myself that I should do that right now, and then I click it and my whole system reboots, or my Discord reboots, and I'm like, well, that was fucking stupid.
Right? Could have been it exactly. But no, I didn't. I'm in the
To
game.
finish my point, I don't know if he's back, if he's coming back, but my point was like, you know, the Andrew Jeselnik. I don't know why I resort to using comedians examples of shit. Maybe just because it's like a super basic level of thinking. But Andrew Jeselnik says that like this is the same kind of thing as like when people on Facebook say like, my thoughts and prayers go out to the people of whatever, and it's like, you know what all that's saying is, hey, don't forget about me today.
That right. I I agree though, and I feel like why you say that is because it's the most easy digestible. It's even
Yes.
mainstream, right? And it's not
Without a
just
doubt. Yep.
yeah. It's comfortable, 100%. I get that. And I mean they're good dudes too. A lot of them are just like funny and just trying to keep it light and like
I think that's what comedy does. It takes that real shit and just like adds a twist to like make it, like you just said, digestible or consumable.
yeah, and realistic too, because at the same time there's always that thought, which is why I don't mess with most of this. Is like, what are you really able to do? Right? And so it should be light. It should be something that we're just able to prospect on until we're the soldier fighting or the politician changing it. There isn't shit you can actually do. And then it becomes that more negative talk of like, you know, or the accusatory one, like, what are you doing? How are you going to talk about this? But you're not doing anything for it. Like, that is also crazy. Like, I'm not qualified either. Right? Like, I've almost reached hell in this video game.
Hell.
Yeah. Come see if you want to. I can throw it up on Discord, I think. I don't think it'll lag me out too much.
Or what up?
What I'm playing.
Well, I'm watching your stream.
Oh, you're seeing it?
Yeah.
Bro, we made it to the bottom. Do you know how deep this is? This hole is ridiculous. Like, literally defined
wait.
ridiculous.
This literally, can you not? Oh, this may like make me more of an asshole. Oh, it went away. All right. Ad block was just in my face, saying like turn that shit off. At the bottom. Oh, that's like that's lava. Wait, do you know that because of like Minecraft, where it tells you you're at the lowest level, or it's just like when you hit lava, you're at the lowest?
You can see the background change, specifically where I'm at. I'm holding the torch and jumping on the wall. You'll see in a second. You can see it become this purple background as opposed to this solid gray.
Oh yeah. It's literally like
A new biome.
yeah, it's crazy.
I gotta remove lava
You just
again.
straight up die if you fucking fuck up and hit the bottom of that.
Yeah, I actually just now, right before you joined, got a thing called a climbing claw. It lets me grab walls. I can actually scale up this wall if I really wanted to now.
So if you were to drop, you would just be able to like hit that shit up top and be like, I'm not dead. Just kidding.
Yeah, so and so if someone else joins the server, they don't have a climbing claw, I can put water at the bottom of this, like Minecraft, and just catch their fall. And then we can have like exits from the sides of the drop point, right above the water, and you can go anywhere from there.
Sick.
It's a elevator, which I'll probably do that anyway, regardless, just because, again, if somebody ever does want to join, and it's more comfortable. This hole, this falling that I've created, has like taken like hours, right, just to get down here, and that fall is still like a 2-minute fall probably. So if I want to just AFK and drop in the hole into a safe location, I could, right, or do something in between falling. It actually takes that long, where it's probably more productive to just have water to catch me.
Is this Terraria? What is this?
Yeah.
Alright. I had a friend buy me it, and then I just did no interest.
Yeah, you probably didn't experience any of the high level stuff that comes. I'm actually on the hardest
Yeah,
difficulty
man.
too.
Grinding always fucking pushes me away from the thing. I'm like, god damn it.
Yeah. But I mean, honestly, like, did you like Minecraft at all?
Yeah, but the thing is, I played initially with like people, and so like if you're playing with people, then it's fine, which is why I like played Terraria with people. But then it was like they all got ahead, and I was like, oh, I have to like grind it out to like catch back up. Nah, I'm good. But
feel
in
that.
Minecraft, they had Vanilla Plus, which is like, oh, you can like dupe shit, and or not dupe, but like when they go to the end and they create the dupers and shit like that, and a lot of them would be grinders. So like super helpful, and they're the like super friendly community that's like, I'm like, oh, I'm trying to do this, where can I find this? And they're just like, they just show up next to you with wings already, and they're like, here's a shulker of it, and you're like, oh fuck, and they're like, yeah, that's how we do shit around here, we just like are kind.
That's what's up.
So
Yeah.
like that was a pretty good intro for like kind of a freedom of not having to stress over like, oh, I need 2,000 cobblestone so I can make stone, so I can. It's just like, nah, we made it so the right pickaxe can just like you mine the stone, and I'm like, this is how the game should be played.
I feel that you want more of the creative, easier experience, not the grind. I mean, I agree too that it's tedious and stuff. This is just why I like this game more and don't mind the grind, is because once you're finding these ridiculous items that are just fun to play with, there are way more weapons and like even customizable crafting options in those weapons that you just don't have in Minecraft at all, right? You've got sword and bow, and then you've got enhancements to it until you have mods. And this game's vanilla experience is dramatically better than the vanilla experience of anything else I've seen like this. Also, I've thought of like fun ways to spin off and make this more entertaining for the grind that I just don't have people who I've tried to look for actively to play. And I don't mind doing it alone, I guess, right now, because I'm trying to do this politics thing, religion thing, right? It's fun. But if you had like one idea I had is that you could take, because there's PvP in here, right? At any point you can just turn on PvP and fight your buddy. We could make like a designated arena as one of the first things we do. And then like you could assign jobs or like logic around what we're doing for say 10, 15, 20 minutes at a time based on who won or lost the PvP fight. Yeah, and if you had like 5 or 6 guys, you could have people like as dedicated miners or something, or you could have one guy, whoever wins the free-for-all, let's say, gets to pick what everybody's role is for like 15 or 20 minutes. And then you're forced to tuck your tail because you lost the PvP fight and go be a miner or whatever, right? Base organize, whatever. Builder.
See, what's crazy is with the Minecraft thing, I was like, I basically want to like get to the point of being unkillable.
Okay. I know my haters hate to see me succeed, or they get the chance to let them murder me. She get me laughing, ha ha. You'll take it to rapping, gra gra. But I'm your father. Don't matter if you. I'm way older. Dear who? These 4 backstage plus 6 like a dick.
No mute?
Well, I'm enjoying it.
Oh, all right. Yeah, so I would want I wanted to grind and get to like a netherite armor and tools.
But I wanna.
And then like backup tools, backup armor, and then have like diamond backup for that, and have like everything I possibly need to like go on solo. Like I used to raid, like End City raid on my own, and just like look the coordinates up for shit, and just like fucking, what's that called? Like do the I call it AFK grinding, I guess, but like I had everything I need to make things easier and like enjoyable, but the grinding to get there is what I fucking hated, unless I had like help. I don't know what you call that.
No, I feel that too. With Rust, I feel super similar to the same way. Like if I don't have a 3 or 4 or 5 man team, I'd rather play like a 2x or 3x server where I can get a tier 2 and all that stuff done in the first hour, so that I can at least go out and just push people constantly, make the kits. I like the quicker crafting in there too, because you're normally fighting dudes that have started the first hour the server's open and have a ridiculous base already and are literally just doing that all day. They're pushing on repeat, and so to play that catch-up game in vanilla is just super unrealistic to me at this point.
Well, I also just like, I just like realized that, like they were the type of people that they would build the villager hall, but they would build the villager hall not to just like throw random. They would organize that shit and then label it, and then like, say here's a bunch of like shit that's just like auto gonna generate in, like a paper or whatever the fuck that you can trade for emeralds, and then like most of the time to get to a certain point where like they say like emeralds are free. Every season I played with them, they had something that was like, this is free, and it was like usually rockets or some shit to make it just like they had the duper, so they had the sand duper and the gunpowder duper, so they were just like, fuck it, we'll just give out rockets for free for whoever wants it.
Yeah.
Like those type of things were just like, oh, you're literally making it so like it's not a pain in the ass to do shit. Like you have to walk across the world. No, fuck that.
Right. No, I feel it. I do. Like I'm saying, this grind I don't mind. It's the only reason I'm playing it is because it's a very simple game. I can fully understand and take on your conversation while holding left click, right? And then on top of that, like the reward when I'm actually doing boss fights and stuff, I can do whatever. I can even put this in single player mode when no one else is in here with me and pause mid fights or whatever, which I just am not right now. But you know, like I could keep this very rudimentary. It's perfect for conversation.
Yeah, I mean, we did a lot of like people that did the like large builds or like strip mining. Like they had a project that was an entire season length, and they were just like, whoever wants to come help, we're destroying the entire end island underneath the like obsidian like base or whatever, like that single floor. We're taking out all of the end material or end stone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, end stone. Like all the underneath it, and it's like a fuck ton of like clearing. And they were like, if you help us, we'll give you a whatever it was at the time. Like the mods spawned in and like put them in a chest as like the netherite 250 plus or whatever, that like doesn't matter if it's obsidian, you're fucking one swiping it.
Yeah.
And they're like, if you help us, you get to use these things. And it's just like, yeah, if I wanted to mindlessly mine, I had this OP shit. Like, why wouldn't I help sometime? Like, it just, they took the stress out of the game, which is like what makes me not want to play games.
Right. No, I feel it. Yeah, I feel like this stuff is beautifully simple too. Like there isn't just, at least to me, almost any stress. It seems very easy to play this game. It feels very much like a kid's game. Until you get to the point where you're fighting the Wall of Flesh down here in Hell, and you unlock the next mode of the game. At that point, your whole building is basically useless, and ghosts will come in every night. And everything hits you hard as hell. I'm on like the hardest difficulty.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was part of it. If I could die with like 1 or 2 hits, or like I couldn't survive a long period of time, that was another. I was just like, why am I playing?
Right.
I think in the early stages, if I ever died for something, I literally, that was like almost sealed the deal for me not wanting to play anymore.
I feel it, right. I just never did this yet either. I was, you know, like when this game dropped and I had a bunch of buddies playing it before, it was still fun, it was enjoyable, but it wasn't ever that difficult. Even the boss fights weren't super stressful eventually, and I want that stress now. Not to mention it's a game where like you can just cheese mobs by putting blocks between you and them, like I'm doing right now. Right? But at the same time, I need to take out these mobs if I want to get like bones, for example, off the skeletons, or the money from them even once you get more upgrades. I don't know how deep this is going to go either. I'm not actually in, like I'm in the biome of Hell right now, but it gets like to another tier essentially where you get a lot more stuff. And then in that tier you can take a voodoo doll, which you get from one of the NPCs. It's like the crafting guy, the main dude who helps you in the game. There's like a voodoo doll of him, and you drop it in the lava down here and it spawns like a wall of flesh. Is literally what it is. It's like a whole wall coming at you slowly. And the strategy to beat it involves a crap ton of wood and wood platforms so that you have like an area to fight first of all, right? And an area to kind of back up with it that's not inhibited by all the monsters down there, which that kind of happens anyway. There's monsters that hit through objects, right? Like they'll literally not care about the blocks, and they'll teleport to get close enough to you to be in range so you have to worry about it. And then they'll shoot like a purple orb thing. You can hit the orb with your sword, but if you're fighting something at distance, like that wall of flesh, you don't want to even get close to, right? So you have to switch between the bow and the sword or something to defend against these orbs while trying to fight the wall. And then at the same time, like, there's like game-ins and all kinds of random shit up there, just trying to murk you all at once too.
Sounds stressful.
It is. Definitely one of the better single players I've played in a while. But yeah. And I mean, again, like the amount of weapons and logic that you can add to that fight are just huge. And then again, once you beat it, the game's not over. This is the hardest guy in easy mode, right? They turn all the copper, iron, and whatever the next tier is, right? Like silver ore. None of those really have use anymore. For you as progression. And they turn them all into 3 new higher tiers of metal that you can farm. That all make different set armors that actually have set bonuses at that point. There's literal builds on this game in private servers where people just PvP and make like, or build through the server, right? They'll have like all the items were there for you, but not only that, like you could even just click a button with a lot of these scripted servers and you're just instantly in the full best ranger gear or the full best melee gear or whatever, and you guys just jump in and fight each other or do random stuff. Like the mods for this game are pretty extensive too. The amount of different stuff they've added. But that's like just any in-game thing instantly on you and you can just go fight people. It's like a simulator. It's pretty great. It's a really good game, honestly. No! More lava. I can see it already. I'm not even there yet. Directly
Alright, man, I'm
below
gonna
me.
go get a sandwich, but I saw you hanging out. I wanted to stop in and say hey.
Word. You come back again real soon.
Will do.
Word. Deuces, bro.
See ya.
Oh, the lava. Why is the lava lava? The hell is that? All gold over there? And then more gold right there next to it? What am I looking at? If that's gold, there's so much. Oh my goodness.
Give me reasons to doubt, try to keep me down, but I'll put the flame out. You can't get to me. Throw
Gotcha.
sticks and you stones,
Whoopee cushion? Are you kidding me?
you won't ache my soul. You can't get to me. And there is no barricade that I can tear away. Shoot me down the fire away, away. But I'm a heavyweight. I'm a heavyweight. I'm a heavyweight.
I'm Limit. What's up, player? How you doing, bro?
Push me down to the ground. What goes around comes around. You won't put the flame out. You can't get to me. Say what you wanna say. Go take it all away. But I'm here to stay. No, you can't get to me. And there is no barricade
So what's up, bro? How you doing?
can tear away. Shoot me down the fire away, away. But I'm a heavyweight. I'm a heavyweight. I'm a heavyweight. I'm a heavyweight.
Oh my goodness, how do I get rid of this lava? I'm phenomenal, bro. I woke up today, you know? That's what I did. I'm happy about it too. Hmm. Bro, how do I get rid of this lava? I just need that side on the right, like one block over. No way this is that simple, right? Surely. Yo, we're on fire! Stop it. No heals. Oh yeah, I got a mushroom. Save me. 15. 12, 11, 10. Oh, thank God. Okay. Okay. We're chilling. We're chilling. I'm on the hardest mode of Terraria, man. It's really difficult, this game. I don't get it. What's up, person?
Do you have any comment about what's happening in Iraqistan?
I think war is bad. I don't like it.
What, do you think the U.S. should do more to help the people of Iraqistan?
I feel like if the people there are in need of it, then yes, definitely. I feel like it's not good to fight.
Do you think the people have part to blame, like the French when the Republic fell?
In what context?
You think like when the government falls, generally, and the people let a dictatorship happen, they're generally responsible. The people are generally liable. What do you not think the people of Iraqistan are liable for this dictatorship?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like people who want freedoms that are in some kind of negative state. Give me 1 second. Go to my Twitch, dude, and I'll type a command in there, and you can connect with me that way, really simply. And I could also just put my name for Discord on here too. But I am in this religion and politics Discord, so you'd have to come in here if you wanted to play, bro.
What if I told you Iraqistan isn't a real country?
Well, it seems like it's not, because I don't remember ever hearing of that. Oh god. Oh god, I made it worse. No! I'm on fire again.
But you know what? The themes of Iraqistan hold true to the Islamic world. It might be made up, but the spirit of Iraqistan, of the people letting tyrants like fucking ruin their life, is true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I mean, I like
I was recording you, and I'm gonna post it on YouTube.
Okay, so my real interjection here, like I was trying to think while dealing with stuff on this game, right? Is
I'm joking.
Basically the thing. Thank you so much for the follow. My thinking is super. Thank you so much for the follow. I can't emphasize it enough. It's huge right now.
Wait. Where are you? Where's your? Can you send it to me?
What, the Twitch and stuff?
Yeah. I can't find your Twitch.
It's my name without the TTB.
No, you can link your Discord too.
Yeah, I didn't do it yet. You're right. I'm like 2 months into this or so. I'll put it.
Linked it, and I haven't posted in over. I haven't made a live stream ever.
Right. I get the idea that you were trolling to a level 2 and stuff, and I've got no problem with that. I love humor, but my real standing.
Honestly, I don't believe it's trolling. I think it's telling the truth.
Oh, but yeah,
Like,
fair too. Yeah.
Truth.
I mean, you're not taking it super serious. It seemed like, but I could be wrong about that.
You know, stories are lies that tell truths. You know, and politicians tell lies as truth.
real.
You know?
Yeah, no, for sure. My actual standing is the same one as anyone on a basic level who doesn't know what the details are on full stuff. I just feel like if people are trapped and in need of help, that they should, you know, people who have the power to help them should try. I take this super basic standing on a lot of this stuff because I don't.
I don't. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Okay.
Sometimes it's not our problem, and when we try to help and we make things worse, which does happen sometimes, like what happened in Syria.
Yeah.
The U.S. is partly to blame for ISIS because we try to help. Because we tried to help them. ISIS took power. People cried out to us. We answered them. They blame us for their country being a shithole, even though it wasn't us. Very much was their own fault. It was their. It's just. You don't have enough. It's just. You lose and you lose, and sometimes you people like expect you. We don't have to help anybody, but besides our citizens. You know?
Yeah, and I agree that most of our resources definitely not. I don't think that if we're doing something bad and it's not helping, right, and it's clear that we tried, like that could be left at that more, right? Like I agree with that. At the same time, I think that people who have so much going on that they feel that they can help and can, and there's also people who just need it and don't have any other way to. No, I sent you the name directly just now. That's it. It doesn't hurt to try, right?
It can hurt to try, and that's literally what I'm saying. We
Well-
can waste money that we can help Americans with. It can cause civil war, death, destruction. There's a lot of pain that can happen when we try.
Correct. And you're not wrong about
We can
that.
back a dictator. We can give money to an evil dictatorship, making us complacent in the dictatorship. And if you give money to a dictatorship, it helps the dictatorship run.
Right.
People starve. That's how revolution forms.
Right.
And that's how they. And like their complacency will be the death of them.
I think the intent is what I'm talking about specifically. The idea that we're trying to help. Ooh, Jesus Christ. Hold my keyboard cord.
Are you from? How old are you, Tyler? Dylan?
I'm older than you, bro. I can.
25, 40, 50, 60, 80, 90, 120?
I'm in my 30s.
30?
Yeah. So, again, hear
What
me
do you
out.
do for a living?
This right now. You ready? Hear me out. Okay? This is really important to me. I feel like you're not seeing the idea of what I'm talking about, and you're pretty set on one way of thinking there too, which is fine. You're allowed to have that opinion, right? But my opinion is that if we've tried to help people and they can be helped, and there are people who are suffering immensely due to a dictatorship, that also still makes sense to do if we can. If it's a thing where we do it over and over, and it ends up becoming like a funnel of negative, that we should learn. We should learn when to tap out too. Okay, but let me finish. Listen to what I'm saying. This is how I know I'm older than you. Okay, because you're very impatient about a point, and I'm still in the middle of making it. Right?
Yeah.
Let me finish it. The point is that it's not wrong to try to help people, but when it becomes wrong and we're sinking money into these, again, like you put it, dictatorships and negative things that end up backfiring on us, right? That's when you got to stop too and really have the reality check of was this a good choice or not? And we do fail to do that. And that's where your opinion comes mainly, and it does happen, and I agree, right? It shouldn't be the sinking ship of us trying to help people that don't, we can't. And if we realize we can't, we, like anything, should tap out and realize we can't. Or go about it a different way that doesn't involve us burning a bunch of money that we could be using for our own people. That is my actual standing. I fully agree.
Do you think we have a right to colonize a country and get money to help poor Americans do better?
If the country is completely drowning in a problem that their dictatorship has started, then I don't see how that could be negative if we brought positives because of it. And I don't think that we're going about it the right way in a lot of ways, but
Do you think Taiwan should join the U.S.?
If Taiwan wants to, as opposed to like them just being forced to do it because they don't have a choice, right? So, yeah. I mean, I look at this pretty realistically and basic and logically overall. Just to re-clarify. Yup. Yep.
So, what do you do for a living, Ted?
I'll be right back. I gotta go to the bathroom. Grab this. Start the interview.
How dare you go to the bathroom?
Yo? Hmm. Oh, hmm. 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 Oh my god. What the fuck? Alright. Oh, we're back. Alright. Let's see what's down here. Oh, that's what's down there. God, I'm falling for like 10 minutes, dude. I can't believe I missed that. That's nice. We get rid of this lava still. That's where we're at. Yep. Let's try again here. Alright. To move the lava. Oh no. Tim. Who the hell is Tim, bro? I need this guy to calm down. Relax, Tim. No more magic bolts, dude. We chill. We chillin', dude. Calm down, Tim. Tim! Tim! Oh, we're done. Good stuff. 2 gold. Yeah. Good stuff, Tim. Good try. We're just better. Alright. We got this next level lava here. You just need to dig like straight down. That's going to be directly in the way too. Really need like a pickaxe upgrade here. It'd be so nice because it's taking way too much time. That gold would be good, but that's all in the way too. Ridiculous. What's up, person?
Hello, how you doing?
Good, bro. I woke up, you know?
That's a good sign. Start of a new day.
It's a great way to start the day, right? I'm happy about it. How are you?
I'm good, I'm good. I can see the role Buddhist in your name. Is it still to date?
Well, I like the practices of them. Everything else in my little bio thingy is more of a joke that I just use as a conversation starter. Because Zionist is obviously not super correlated with Buddhism, you know?
Zionist?
Yeah, that's kind of like, from what I understand at least, and I could be wrong, more like Illuminati level of thinking. So like, I was trying to go like harsh, extreme, you know, and privileged logic to like the rich poor man all in one bio. But I agree with a lot of the Buddhist teachings. You know, I like a lot of Buddhism logic and spirituality stuff is what I really claim. But I don't like religion. Yeah.
The idea of owning stuff, do you hold to it?
I feel like it's not needed, no. But it's what it is at the same time, right?
I don't understand. It's a yes or no?
Well then, no, I don't think holding stuff is needed, no.
Okay. So, right now, the name of this channel is live on Twitch, TikTok, YouTube, Debate. I guess you own of those one account on each of those platforms.
Yes.
Why?
Because hopefully I get to the point where I am financially able to support myself and then donate everything else to charity. And show that I want to do that and have proof doing so.
Yeah, so you bought a computer, internet connections, created accounts to make money out of them.
Correct, as well as use that money for good things once I am.
Yeah, I don't care about how you use your money. What I care about is the stuff that you have that is your own. Because you say yes to the fact that you want to detach yourself to stuff, and you have stuff. So what I wonder is why? And from the answer you gave me, the reason is to help others and yourself. Did I get correctly answered?
No. I didn't say that I agree with Buddhism entirely. I said that I agree with some parts of it. It's actually what I said. What I said was I was spiritual, right? And And I also said that I don't think, which I thought your question was referring to minimalism in general, but I see now that you're just trying to say the Buddhist logic is fallacy. So I don't claim it. And I think that people don't need things to survive. I think they can survive being a minimalist. And I like that practice too. I think it has validity. It's one of the things I like about Buddhism, but it's not one of the things I practice, at least yet. I don't...
What's your...
Go ahead.
Your practice, you're saying minimalist. That's different from Buddhism.
Right.
Am I correct?
Well, yeah, but I think it's a good thing that makes sense for people to do, not rely on things, right? I think it would make sense for you to benefit you as a person. I may or may not even at some point implement that. Yeah. So I don't claim anything. I'm not religious. I'm spiritual. I like practices from everything, but I don't agree wholeheartedly with any religion by any standard.
I understand the religion part, but being spiritual makes you religious, your own religion.
So
you created your own religion basically right now.
Maybe try to look
set
up
of principle,
the definition.
The good and bad things on your own. You decide what is good and bad.
You're wrong. That's not how spirituality works. Spirituality like is void of religion by definition. Even in the DSM at this point, it's claimed there is no religious belief with spirituality in itself.
Okay, I define religion as a set of rules.
Correct. I don't believe in rules.
Moral rules.
Correct. I don't believe in rules. I don't believe in moral rules or rules in general to govern whether or not your God or deity believes you deserve something or not. I think all of that is complete stuff that I don't agree with and I don't like. I don't judge people that do. That's their prerogative. I think it's perfectly fine to have it as a choice. I don't agree with it. You understand?
You don't agree with others' belief.
Incorrect. I respect others' belief. I don't have my own.
Yeah. You don't have your own. You don't know what's good and bad.
I do know what's good and bad. That's not what I said.
Okay. If you know what's good and bad, then you have a set of belief that is your own.
I don't say that I don't know what good and bad is. I don't think it
type
correlates to other people's beliefs.
Yeah, it is your own, not others.
Right.
Religion. It's a set of moral beliefs. That's what I wrote in the chat.
Correct.
And that's what I'm pointing out. You are creating your own religion because you have your own set of moral beliefs.
Okay, I do. Yes, I do. I have my own set of moral beliefs. I don't call it a religion. That's what I do. If you think that's a religion by definition, that's totally good, but that's not how I would define it at all personally.
Yeah, there is not enough people in yours to call it a religion. Is that why?
No, because there's a lot of people who believe in this logic. They don't call it a religion because it's not a religion by definition.
Yeah, they don't have the same set that you have.
But yeah, nobody's supposed to in this practice of logic, not religion, right? That's the point, is that we all believe that there's a vibration being caused when you do or say things. And those vibrations can be inherently good or bad. And if you intentionally throw out a bad vibration, that's your intent, that's your choice, which is perfectly fine if you want to believe that that's your good, right? I personally try to do unto others the best I can, just like certain Christian logics say. I believe a lot of different things from a lot of different religions make sense. I don't believe that those things should govern me, either as a person, and I believe those things can change if I were to be convinced otherwise. So I don't rely on anything as far as a God or as a choice to like be governed by said God. I think God wants me to be happy, just like he or she wants you to be happy. I don't think they need worship. I don't think they need a need of me to do a set of rules, moral rules or not, right? They just want us to be happy. They want us to do good unto other people. That's the same standing for any religion. And so I don't believe in it.
The trouble I'm having here is what you define as good on other people.
Well,
you could be persuaded to sexual intercourse with other people is good for them.
Okay.
And by that logic, having sex with them.
So do you want me to answer the question, or do you just want to make an example about my person that you don't understand? because I can give you that question without you making an example before anything's even mattered yet, right? Like you can make an example about things you understand, but when you make an example about someone else's character that you don't even know, without just asking the question, it doesn't sound smart.
What's the question I should ask?
The question, as opposed to making an example about my character and then saying a hypothetical around things that I believe are good or bad. Just ask, what do you think is good or bad? That's way more appropriate. That comparison was unnecessary entirely. Do you understand?
Well, that's the reason why I use that example is
Horrible
because
example,
when...
first of all. But go ahead.
What?
Horrible example. But go ahead.
Yeah, you don't like my example.
No, I think you could use less in any regard of difference to explain the same difference. Because there's a moral dilemma that you're creating. That's the point of your example. To go so harsh and crazy with it isn't necessary. 2, you could just ask the question. What do you think is good and bad? And then say in regards to something maybe. How do you feel about sex? That's how simple that could have been. Right?
That's not what I want to know.
Okay. What do you want to know?
I want to know how people like you live.
In what regard?
So because I have this conclusion from other people than you, what prevents you to arrive to the same conclusion?
Okay, so you're saying that you met somebody that's done things that you would consider to be maybe heinous or not agreeable in your moral standing. And you're trying to ask that example, like what they did, you don't agree with, and you think it's the same type of person as me, right?
How do you prevent you to arrive to the same conclusion than them?
Because I don't define myself how other people define their self and their belief. That's why spirituality is different within oneself. Let me get the DSM definition for you real quick. This makes it a lot easier for me. Okay? Spirituality. Okay, just type in the spirituality, right? Spiritual. Okay. So there's a lot of derivatives of this, just like there should be. Abundance every day, the level of biological needs that drive selfishness and aggression. Lowering, if we're significantly a part of a purpose in life. Yeah. Okay. So spirituality means, I mean, this is pretty bland, but it's accurate. Are you hearing me still?
Yes.
Spirituality means knowing that our lives have significance in a context beyond a mundane, everyday existence, beyond a boring existence, right? At that level, the biological needs that drive selfishness and aggression. It means knowing that there are significant parts of purposeful unfolding of life in our universe. So that's again pretty rough as an example, but basically you have needs, right? And I have needs that we need biologically, be it food, water, connection, anything, right? Those are the things we need, right? But those things simplified even more so than this. You have selfishness and you have aggression, right? Just like this kind of says, this is actually a decent example. You have a level of selfishness that you need to implement in order to understand why you're selfish about yourself. This is mindfulness. Right? You have to have some level of understanding that water and food need and the right, like, to try to survive. And once you understand how to love yourself enough, that's the point of spirituality, so that you can love others once you've filled up your own bowl, per se, right? You've got a bowl and you need it to be full so that you can love other people correctly, not just love other people. Right? This is like the same difference now. Now, if I'm at the point where I feel comfortable and confident within myself, I can throw a rock, and I can throw that rock with anger and aggression, or I can throw that rock with love and peace. And when that rock hits the water, it creates a ripple. That ripple is the definition in my logic of spirituality. That ripple of intent, that ripple of love that I threw into the pond, because that's how I feel like people should be seen off the get, at least. They should be given the chance. I'm a firm believer in that. If till you cross me or show that you're not a person of love, then I have no need to not show you that love off the get too. right? Like off rip, however you want to say that. I like to show that people deserve a chance. That's why I haven't just belittled or kicked your idea to the door. I think some people don't express themselves how they could, and they're trying to do it with this love. But if they don't have an understanding, that's not on them either. They're just not expressed how to learn their understanding yet, right? They need to be more selfish inherently, because if you're not and you don't realize how to love yourself, then you can't love other people. This is the whole basis of the whole thing.
Do you remember my question?
Yeah, is this my life?
Okay.
What is my life? What is my logic? What is my love, right? That's my love.
No.
It was something along that line.
No.
Okay, what was your question exactly?
Okay, so yeah, that's what I was waiting for you to finish your thoughts, but the trouble I'm having here, the information that I want to know that I don't have.
Okay.
You claim that you try to do good to others.
Right.
I have an example of someone who tried to do good to others.
Okay.
That I wonder how you prevent that to happen.
Okay. What is the example?
That's my question. Well, the example you didn't want me to say the first time around, so I won't repeat.
Okay, well, let me mute you on Discord, and then I don't have a bias behind these private companies that censor people. So I want to hear your example, and I'm going to turn off your audio for your question, just so I understand that this doesn't go crazy. Brother, I've had like multiple people come in here and say outlandish, heinous, negative stuff consistently since I put this room up, right? Every day, multiple times a day. So I'm weary because of this Discord and the people that have been in it. But go ahead. You're muted now, and what you say is not in any way. I don't care. You full freedom of speech in my book. I fully agree with that amendment that we should all be able to talk however we want, right? These private companies censor people. That's the issue, not me. Go ahead. And I apologize for responding so heavily the first time. Well, so in my life, I don't have that problem, first of all, right? The people that do are some level of sociopathic or narcissistic that's strong, right? The people that think that that's okay, or person in this example. How do you prevent that is you block them up, simply put. You throw away the key. I think that's probably the second highest level of heinous crimes you could enact on someone else.
Which is your own. They arrived to the conclusion that this action was good. So what I want to know is, how do you prevent that to happen? Or do you, well, I guess from your reaction, you don't agree with that conclusion. So how did you proceed to prevent that?
With my moral,
prevent you to arrive to that conclusion?
With my moral outlook, how do I prevent that? So
yeah.
If the person wants to change and can convey that they can change and then doesn't, I honestly, brother, I feel like some people don't have the ability to change and get help. And an easy correlation to this is someone with like a mental deficiency, right? Because that could be logically assumed that is a mental deficiency if they really feel that way, right? Because that act is a negative one on someone else at the end of the day, no matter how it looks. Because you said will. You said it was against their will, right? Correct. So, overall, some people do need to be put in a place where that they can only think about their action and fix it. Do I think locking this person away forever in a box and throwing away the key is the only way to do it? Probably not. However, I don't think that giving them repetitive chances in the current system that we have and how they do it, it's actually not even considered that bad of a crime. And people go 8, to 10 years, which ends up being like a redacted sentence of 5 to 4 years, right? That they're even punished for this thing. And it could be multiple victims. And I don't agree with that. And I don't agree with our current system. Do I have like the best possible means of dealing with it and thinking that there's a perfect cure for this? No, absolutely not. I think it's a huge mental problem and deficiency within that person, right? The same way some people can't think or write or have dyslexia or whatever. I think it's exactly equivalent to one of those. And I also believe pretty wholeheartedly at this point, because I've had family members that have been through this, that it's a learned habit, right? And some people do this, and some people don't after they've experienced it themselves, right? It becomes a learned habit and a passed down trait, essentially, right? Do you see what I'm saying there? That makes it even more clinically, logically, a mental problem, right? That's not good. And it's not curable in some. Would you agree?
Yeah, but I'm having trouble writing down the logical process that you use so that you don't come to that conclusion.
What?
So where
Okay,
do
the
you
logical
start?
process would
What's the
be
next step?
that,
What's
like-
the next step?
Yeah.
And then the conclusion, this
Okay.
is not something that I should do.
So not something you should do is inhibit other people's freedoms and wills by right off the rep, right? Like that's not something you want to do, is change someone else's life in a negative way. That's a part of my religion. If you can help it, you would rather just walk away or not impede their choices. The same way I'm able to sit here and talk to a Christian and tell him that his beliefs aren't wrong, I just don't agree with them. I would separate myself, right? But when it comes to people breaking literal human right laws like that, right, where it's not okay to
Who's
do
to
this.
say it is negative?
Well, the person who is experiencing it, first of all, right, that doesn't want it, it's their will to say, I don't want this, and then it's your will not to change that, because that's a fundamental human right. Do we agree on that?
Okay. So let me try a thought exercise. There are two people on an island, only two of them, so there is no other political power or army or whatever people that can change. They have everything they need, but they aren't able to not see each other. Okay, so whenever they move, they see each other. Okay.
Okay.
So
following.
in that situation, someone comes to you and say, your haircut is negatively impacting me.
Okay, that's how do I put that? That is on that person who believes that thing is negative. And I see already kind of where you're going with this, and I get
Thank you.
where this now basic conundrum makes sense on a more extreme level. At the same time, the person's right to change that haircut or not is on them, and they don't even have to indulge that other person, because the actual physical effects of this, right, don't exist until the mental effects say it do, right? So now the mental effects of this are like, hey, that thing is making me feel negative, and you are doing that thing. Well, technically, they are just exhibiting their stance, right? They're exhibiting their normal thing that actually isn't physically inhibiting them in any way. It's a visual thing, which translates to a mental thing, right?
Wait. What do you mean by physically inhibiting? It is physically inhibiting. The eyes are physics, like
Well, that's my next point. If you want,
light rays are physics.
let me try to go a little bit more in so I can get to the whole point of the point I'm making.
Okay.
So the fact that this visual thing that is physically not even, let's say, touching you, right, is inhibiting
It
you.
is touching.
Okay, so it's not in the example you gave. You said that your haircut is impacting me negatively, right?
It is touching my eyes.
Okay, so those eyes you actually have control of the same way you have control of your brain. Even if you're on an island where you're forced to see that person, your mind is now making this thing that you visually see a negative. So your mind is
Correct.
actually the problem in that situation, because if you experience negative
Ish.
effects, well, no, fully. Because I still, at the end of the day, have the choice to say to my own self, hey, is this really a thing that's bothering me? Or is this a thing that I'm making physical negatives from? Because where the physical negatives actually come from in that situation is your own mind inhibiting negative from this visual stimuli, right? Whatever the stimuli is irrelevant, because that stimuli, be it it's forcing yourself by
It
walking.
is very relevant because of the other example.
Right. And so this is what I'm trying to say is when you take away the will from that person to be able to look away to a different location in this hypothetical example, the next probable outcome is not to change the haircut, in my opinion. The probable outcome is to figure out how to make the negative thing that you're dealing with, in my moral standing, a positive, or at least a neutral and not a negative, so that I'm feeling physical impacts mentally. Do you get it?
But if I were to break down, I guess I hoped I had a book, something that were writing what you said, because the same claim can be made about this other example, and you would disagree.
No, well, it's not the same example. That's a visual stimulation. The other one is a full physical contact, one that you can't control happening. Huge differences there.
Oh, you can't control your eyes either. Well, you're able to control it in the sense that you are you can close your eyes, right? And then
you can learn to tolerate it through your own mental well-being, because there's that choice. There's actually two different ways. It's not just close your eyes. It's your brain now processing it better as opposed to worse, right? But the thing is with the other one is there is no option to close your eyes or transmit it into a positive until you've learned it. Yeah, you can learn it to become positive through manipulation and consistent push and consistent negative, right? And eventually that negative you force through adaptation, the same way your brain does the translation of the eyes, through adaptation and forcibly adaptation, you can make it a positive thing, because you're stuck in this box, because you're forced to be in that situation, right? On that island. Now you have to succumb to it, and you have to make it a positive. But at the end of the day, it doesn't change the fact that it's not right. Even if you make a lighter example, it's still a physical logic that you have no control over by force. It doesn't make it good. It makes it worse, if anything, for that. I mean, and then there's the other side of this example on both ends. The haircut could be changed is also an outcome here. The problem with the haircut being changed is this is a lighter example compared to the other one. The real example of both would be that haircut, that guy with it that knows it's bothering that person, could change himself and doesn't have to force the will on people, which is where it becomes a mental deficiency for that dude with the haircut. At the end of the day, if cutting your hair doesn't impede you either, then there's no problem cutting the hair. You need to change as a person is what the actual outcome is here. And where I say locking this person away and putting them in a box is what they deserve so that they can mentally check themselves. I just don't agree with the time frame that we implement in America. I don't think it should be 10 years or 5 years. I think it should be 30. I think you're taking away a person's minimum. Like absolute minimum, if not more. This is a person who can't change their time frame, and they're putting someone else.
I don't live in the US, so I don't. Doesn't matter to me. This what matters to me is this idea of moral belief, the set of moral belief that you have, and I'm really having trouble. You say it is a lighter example. You use the word lighter, like the example one that I gave and the haircut that I gave. One of those two examples is lighter than the other one. That's what you said. Did I hear you correctly? Okay. How do you weight it?
Because one of them is just visual stimuli that translates into physical stimuli if you allow it to.
Titi. I don't know how to say your name, sorry.
Dylan.
Dylan? Okay. Sorry, Dylan. It's not why, it's how.
How is it lighter?
How do you weight? Weight is W-E-H-G-H-T. Sorry, I'm French. Sometimes I have trouble with the words.
Yeah.
Measure the weight of it. How do you weight it?
Well, because it was the same example I gave the first time. You have two different outcomes, and one of them is one-sided and not. This isn't like these two examples are extremely different in comparison, because one of them you can mentally and visually change The other one you physically cannot change because it goes mental, it goes visual, it goes mental, and then those mental negatives inhibit you physically. Right? You follow me? It's like 3 stages with one of the examples. The other one doesn't even have the visual side. The other one just has you physically being detained into a mental state. It actually even goes in reverse in all the ways. You're screwed physically just so that you can be screwed mentally, so that you have this horrible trauma to try to come back from. Whereas the other one is about a haircut and seeing it.
You claim it is horrible in one case and that it is not horrible in the other case. Am I correct?
Yeah, because there's different levels to what we're talking about in your example. One is extremely different and lighter in weight.
Yeah, and that's why I hear you say that and repeat that, but I don't understand how do you weight the difference? Why is one lighter than the other one? How do you weight it? What is the measurement tool that you use to say this one is lighter and this one is not?
Trauma. One is inducing trauma for years to come. The other one is one that gradually persists and becomes worse over time if you continue to allow it and don't adapt. One is a lot easier to adapt from. The other one is a forced thing that you can't change. They're way different examples.
It's easier to adapt.
Yeah, they're extremely different examples.
I'm not sure. Okay, so you say that one is easier to adapt because you have seen people have claims about their hair, having people don't liking people. You have testimonies of people who didn't like long hair, for example. So on men, so they were able to adapt to that, and therefore you say it is easier to adapt. Is that why, or is there another reason why you hold that claim that one is easier to adapt than the other?
Okay, what's the other? Describe the other one for me. If we're talking about haircuts versus what? I want to make sure we're on the same subject here.
Oh, sexual intercourse.
By comfortable choice? Or...
Yeah. Both of them are against your will. Like, the hair is against your will, the sexual intercourse is against your will. Both of them are in the same process. The only thing that changed, both of them are physical, both of them are hurting you, both of them are against your will, both of them are, just a name change. The only difference is the name of the action. The choice of one of the two people on the island change. One has the choice to not have sexual intercourse, and the other one has, in the other example, the same person has the choice to cut her hair. Those are two equivalent in my hypothetical. And when you say one is lighter than the other one, and I ask you how do you weight it, and you claim that one is easier to adapt than the other one, I am wondering how do you know one is easier to adapt?
Do you have any experience with your hypothetical yourself? Have you been through a severely traumatic experience, as people would describe the second example? Have you been through that yourself or no?
No.
Okay. You have not. So...
Correct.
If you had a horrible hate for geese or birds in general, and every time you saw birds when you came outside, they absolutely impeded you physically, right? Or the sun, even. Let's go even more broad. The sun is outside every day.
Wait, those don't have free will.
Okay, that's fair.
It is really an example that the thing that impedes you comes out from the will of another human. If you want to give another example, you can give it, but it needs to come from another human. So a shirt, a haircut,
right,
shoes, a car, right, a house that he bought.
So both of those things,
kind of things,
depending on the level of mental capacity that thing drains from you, could be equal, is the correct answer to your conundrum. Yes. Now that I see what you're saying fully, both of which could be very detrimental to a person who cannot understand why the haircut hurts them on that level, but they know that they can't be around that haircut, right? And they don't have the will to change that person's logic just like the other situation, that person. I feel like what you're saying obviously doesn't not make sense. I get where you're coming from with this hypothesis and this logic, right?
Thank you.
I just don't agree, and I get the radicals to it even, right? Like it being one is obviously a little bit more radical than the other. You'd agree?
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree with you in real world with the theology of God, using it as a tool, but because you don't have God as a tool, you have your own set of moral belief.
So,
I wonder how
we didn't actually talk about that.
you make it.
To be totally honest, we didn't actually state that. I do believe in God, without question. I know that there's a
you have
creator.
your own.
Right, and I have my own, right, exactly in that way. So it's not that my God is any different from these religions in the main regard, in those moral regards. My God is very similar to anyone else's. Not Satan God, right? That God is literally the only other different one other than, what people would say. So I just don't think that my God would want me to spend my time literally just doing negative things or positive things that involve him or her being praised all the time for those things. I don't think that makes sense with these religions, because you're putting time into things that don't actually benefit you at all. And I would think that God would want us to have that. That's why we were created, to have at least, if not do good, experiences of things that we appreciate and want to change or do better for, right? That's where my thinking is with God. So this hypothetical is fine. I get what you're coming from, because I have a logical brain. At the same time, I don't think it benefits me directly. I think it's a fun thought experiment. I get what you're coming from, right? But it's not like this revolutionary thought either. I think if anything, it's just a kind of a the trolley, you pull the lever example.
Yes.
5 to 1. It's literally one of those. It's a thought experiment that doesn't actually have relevance, because the hypothetical logic of it is the same difference, right? You're always in the real world, just like you said a second ago, and kind of about said it at least. You're always going to save the 5 over the 1. Until extremes are introduced, you're always going to save 2 over 1, right? Because that's where the actual answer is. Not that it's a person you love or not. Those things are all additives to a different thought. But the emotional test of that logic is the same as your emotional test with your hypothetical. At the end of the day, one is always worse than the other.
Yeah, but I don't. So what I understand is that it's coming from outside, not from inside. Okay, so yeah. Would you say the question when I say that I ask you, one is easier to adapt? This knowledge, is it coming from others' testimony?
No, it's coming from my testimony. And secondly, when we were in that state, this was before you were really introducing, or I was finding out that what you meant was that person who's impeded by the thing that's quote unquote less significant is actually very much impeded from it, as if it were like a huge negative stimulant. It wasn't just a haircut, as you made it sound easily. It was a really negative thing to their brain that they couldn't understand why they couldn't deal with it. Right? So that all being said, it's not that your example is wrong or useless in the same way. It's actually an intelligent example. It's just that it's not. It's a 1,000% hypothetical, like the correlation between the trolley. Right? And it doesn't actually make sense in a real world discussion to try to. I don't know. Again, I don't understand still what you're hoping to fix out of this or change. Are you saying that we should care for those people? Or are you wondering what I would do? Again, I don't know where to go with it necessarily.
My hope is that you join a religion with a set of belief that is that is larger than your own set.
Okay.
So
Well, I think
you would have others
Yeah.
to back you up.
I think both are situations that are want to fix, and logically, like, we want to help the guy who can't look at the hair, and we want to help the girl who can't control the will in the situation of someone else, right? Both of them, we want to try to help both of those people either cope with the incident that's happened or avoid having to deal with it to begin with.
Yeah.
I'm super logical, bro. I'm super rational and simple in thought on most things, because I don't think all these other complexities even need to come into play. This is why I think the trolley experiment's corny, because you can't remove the emotion from the emotional test, or it's now just a test and not an emotional stress test, right? The same way this is kind of an emotional stress test in comparison. That's why I correlated the two. Realistically, everybody has the same feeling about it, even though that's not the one you're looking for. Maybe the general consensus is that I still agree that that's obviously the simple logic. To change those people, it doesn't actually happen either. They have to want to change, right? If the guy who's inducing the negative will, he has to want to change for it to ever stop or be put in a box. And the guy who can't go outside because everyone has long hair, he has to figure out how to cope and deal with that on a regular daily basis, or stop going outside and seeing people and live in front of a screen. Like, those are just the outcomes. There is, and to say either one is affecting you more or less, I don't know what that guy who sees the haircut feels, and I obviously have never been through that traumatic experience, so I don't know what she's feeling either, right? If we were to correlate even genders to keep it more simple to explain. If the dude's going through it, right, it doesn't matter. It's the fact that both of which are struggles and things that need help, and you just, you know, you do what you can, bro. Like, it's simply that. If you can't, you can't. In a lot of situations, you can't, because even if you try to help and that person doesn't want the help, again, you can't do anything.
How old are you, Dylan?
I'm in my 30s, bro. I just am about to be 32. This year.
Welcome to the 30s. You'll see that it is not that bad.
Oh, I'm happy with it, dude. I'm happy. Like I said when you joined, every day I woke up is a good day.
Oh, cool. That's the best.
Oh, fuck.
Feeling 45.
45, dang.
Yeah. I've been there.
I've been there is crazy.
32. Those were the good days. I remember when I was young.
Stupid. I remember being younger, dude, and being like, oh, you're 25? God, you're old. I'm like, where the fuck did I go? Yeah, it's real. I don't mind indulging in it. It's just, it's not that I don't think it's not complex. I think for a lot of people that is a complex equation to even figure out, right? Let alone get to a level where they can see an answer like I did, right? I feel like when I hear something like this, though, it's either one, a trigger and an attempt to mess with me, right? Because it's so simple. Or two, they want something specific out of it. And like you said, you wanted another more diverse outcome, which isn't necessarily wrong or anything. I just like the more advanced problems, I guess, if that makes sense, right? And your answer is advanced, but your problem wasn't, right? Does that kind of make sense? Like, your answer was what you wanted to see. The outcome for me was commendable and different and new and all those things. That's great. But the problem itself wasn't actually that complex, in my opinion. And I thought there was more complexity to it that wasn't even there because it was so simple. That just, to me, isn't like necessarily irritating, but it's not like, you know what I mean? What are we discussing about this after? It is still that simple equation after it's over. And that's all you can say about it.
Do you want a bigger or a harder problem to solve?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, you're claiming that you don't need religion. This claim?
No, I'm claiming that nobody does. But go ahead.
Yeah, you or no one else. But well, I'm going to focus on you.
Okay.
So, do you believe that others need religion? Oh, no one else. Okay, not even the others.
Nope.
It would be a good thing if there were no religion, no ordered set of beliefs. That definition of religion.
I think that, again, it kind of falls back to the same answer of the last. If people were able to realize that and adapt from it, which they would and could, then I don't think that it brings more negative than positive. I think, like I had said earlier, from my belief, that the negatives that come from religions that I don't agree with is all the rules and the worships that are stagnant to like a negative outcome. Hell for heaven seers, right? Or limbo or karma for reincarnation. If you kill a bug, in some beliefs they say you're going to relive that bug's life because you killed that bug, right? I don't think those negatives actually inspire someone to do good and want to stay better if they had the mentality to see that those are just external things to promote rules, right? They're just external means to promote an agenda and rules, not necessarily even better you, but they think that it's supposed to better them, so they believe it's the way it's supposed to be, and then they conform to it.
Okay. So you have another claim that I have. A reasonable claim should allow for the possibility of being proven wrong. What do you think of that claim, the second one?
I'm gonna need you to say it again. That was pretty brutal. And what's up, person?
So a reasonable claim should allow for the possibility of being proven wrong.
Okay, a reasonable claim.
Yeah.
But the reasonable claim is something that is reasonable. No. Okay, so okay, wait. Say it one more time. Do I believe that, or what was the actual start of the question? I'm not actually understanding that part now.
I wrote it in the chat. So
okay, thank you.
You
That
made
helps.
the claim, we don't need religion. I wrote the phrase, a reasonable claim should allow for the possibility of being proven wrong. And I asked you, do you agree with that second claim?
But yeah, because reasonable is just the idea of like comprehending something. Reasonable is just like to that person within reason, right? So, of course.
Yeah, I meant reasonable in the sense of flat earthers are unreasonable.
So, yeah, even as an example, if... Well, yeah, because reasonable, like you're saying, a reasonable claim could be that that person is reasonable, or it could be that the claim is reasonable. This is saying that, like, a thing is within tangible logic. That's it. Right? And to that person, could they be proven wrong? Obviously is yes.
Cool. So I often pick the example, the Earth is spherical. That's a reasonable claim. I hope we agree. And there is a way to prove it wrong.
Yeah.
Do we agree?
Yeah, of course.
Right.
Like anything. That's just debate.
There would be ways to measure the shape of the Earth and arrive to a conclusion that it is not spherical anymore. So
correct.
But that's not the case right now. Every measurement that we have points towards it's being spherical. So, but you still have people that claim that the Earth is not spherical. Flat earthers do that, and those are the people that I deem unreasonable. So the question that will make you think is what would prove you wrong? In the claim, we don't need religion.
Okay, write that one out for me too.
Oh, yeah, all of those three are written in the chat.
Okay, in just a second. All right, I'm looking now. So, what Discord again? Whoa, what is going on with this? Hold on, this hasn't been up. Oh my goodness, give me 2 seconds, I'm sorry.
Yeah, take your time.
That's Milky. Discord. Where is it? Oh, it's above. There we go. Holy crap, I moved something on the OBS. So the stream was just seeing different things than it was supposed to. Okay. Okay. I'm looking now. You're just asking in general what would prove my claim to be wrong, that people do need religion.
The other way, you say we don't need religion. That's your claim. And what would prove you wrong?
Well, okay, so you're just technically telling me to debate myself. That's it.
Okay.
Like-
Like I would ask a spherical earther to answer the same question.
Those
but
guys,
we
those
covered
guys
that already,
might
how
fall
to-
for that. I'm not gonna fall for that.
You're not?
No.
Oh, it's too complicated. Yeah, I know. It's hard. It's easy for.
And now you're goading
claims
me
to
with
be
reverse
spherical,
psychology.
But when it comes to claims
So,
like
you're-
religion, then
You're gonna goat me
Yeah,
with
it's too
reverse
complicated.
psychology. Okay, this is the thing, right? I'll humor the logic. What would prove me wrong is just because you're goading me with reverse psychology after asking me to prove myself wrong. Just
I
to
thought it was
re-clarify.
complicated.
So is the real answer not to
it's-
debate or to debate, right? I get it. No, I get it. I do. I get it. But I don't. I'm going to indulge it because you're laughing, and that's it, honestly. And I think you think that this is
Oh.
funny. So we're going to go with it, all right? What would prove
Okay.
me wrong? Nothing still would prove me wrong. Okay, your turn.
Your turn.
You like
You
that?
just agreed with the claim above. A reasonable claim should allow for the possibility of being proven wrong. And when you say nothing, you agree that you are unreasonable.
Correct. There
That's
we
a
go.
factor for-
I love it. We got bullet points to determine this. This is great.
Yep.
Yeah, this is humorous. This is good. You're almost trying to instigate fourth person right now. Do you realize that?
I don't know what it is,
Like
but I
third,
love
like third
hearing
person.
you
You're trying to get.
turning your gears in your mind
Like, if
after
I'm
you
Donald-
telling me that this was simple.
If I'm Donald Trump, all right. Well, you're hitting the simple. They're basically idioms, dude. You're hitting me like if I'm Donald Trump and I go, Donald Trump thinks that I'm reasonable, so I can never be proven wrong because I'm Donald Trump. Like it's a third person equation at that point. Donald Trump thinks that's incorrect, and I'm Donald Trump. You're corny, bro. It's funny, but again, it's pretty see-throughable. I even called the reverse psychology the second you said it. Come on.
Nice.
I like it though. Don't get me wrong. I think the setup's good, and somebody with a lower IQ easily, like a flat earther, is even the setup for this, and what got me aware of it would fall for it potentially, right? Like a guy who's
You have to fall for it.
you have
If you,
to.
oh well, if you say that your claim is unreasonable one, then yeah, okay.
The whole thing's
cool.
defeated.
You-
All right, right, off rip. It's all defeated.
What?
It's all defeated to start. If you say with that, right? You're literally
It's
asking.
all defeated to start.
Yeah, like your whole question goes out the door if you say that you're unreasonable instead of saying reasonable, right? Like you, if I started there with saying like you just said I'm unreasonable, then the whole thing becomes like defeated. I would skip the reverse
Sorry,
psychology step. I would
maybe-
skip the proven wrong step. All
Steven.
of it, right?
Maybe I misspoke. I'm not talking about you being unreasonable. I'm talking about the claim.
Oh,
being
oh, okay,
unreasonable.
okay. Go ahead.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sorry. Say it again then.
Yeah. I misspoke. Maybe I said you are being unreasonable. I did say that, but I misspoke. What I meant was the claim that you have is an unreasonable one. So the claim we don't need religion is unreasonable, just like the claim the Earth is flat.
Yeah. Again, at the end of the day, these are all just opinions.
These are opinions.
Yeah, none of this is factual. Even you can't say the Earth is flat or round until there's empirical evidence, right? So, and even when you can, right? This is where they're all just opinions. The guy who wholeheartedly believes that the world is flat, even with empirical evidence, his opinion is still just an opinion to say it's flat. They're all just opinions.
It's not a fact. It's an opinion.
Yeah, it can't be a fact. Most things are not facts. I think objective truths and truths all have different meanings, right? And even objective truths get proven to be objective at some point. They're just not truths. What's up, Luke? Lux?
Yeah. Luke, that's me.
Oh, that's
And
you
some
typing.
rays
Okay.
and
All
sunset.
right, we're gone. So,
Objective truth doesn't exist, but I hear that's we're going there.
objective truth
I
does
don't know
exist.
if I want to go there.
Objective
What?
truth is like saying 2 + 2 is 4 by DSM standards. right? And until it's not 2 + 2 is 4, that's an objective truth currently.
Yeah, according to the subjective majority.
Literature, right, and the majority, right. Majority is what defines truth right now. That's accurate too.
Yeah. And that's where I would point out that the claim we don't in religion doesn't follow reality or majority, and therefore is not objective.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
The opposite is the objective one.
Well,
we need religion.
My initial logic was a hypothetical with that too to begin with, right? Like this wasn't a thing where I said this is where it could be is what I said, not this is what it is. And I still believe that. Does that make sense? Am I explaining that right or no?
Nope.
No. Okay. So if people had tried it and did it and it became the mainstream thing to not need religion, then it would be an objective truth. That's all it takes, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So my claim is a hypothetical one, and it does work for me, right? So because it does work for one person, to say it can't work for the objective truth and majority is also not true in a hypothetical sense. Everybody could do it if I can, right?
I don't know if you can scale it up to the majority.
Well, yeah, that's the hypothetical part, is that the majority hasn't tried or given reason to try, especially the ones that are devout in their faith.
Think about the claim, shit. No, okay, people who hurt themselves, how do you call those? Scarification.
Again, the mental status that they don't have the ability to change.
Yeah, but what I mean is that it would say it works for me, so everybody should do it. And if everybody do it, then we will be fine together.
Yeah.
And it will be objective truth. I'm like, yeah. I'm not sure. I'm not sure I want that. So the same thing applies to not having religion. Even if it works for you, I'm like, yeah, I'm not sure I want that. You understand?
Right. Well, that's kind of the point, is if you did try it and then found out that you liked it, what's up, person? Then you would be able to, see the different side of it. The same way, even your more, again, extreme example to my less extreme one in weight, I would argue again, it's not done until you try it. And again, objectively, you could be wrong, and that could be the way to do it with the self-harm.
Right now, I cannot be wrong.
Well, no, right. That may you haven't experienced it yourself. That could have been the thing you were looking for your whole life.
Well, the objective truth thing that we agreed on, majority rules. I am not wrong when I claim that we need religion. That's the objective fact.
Well, you're wrong about the infallibility of the Pope.
No.
Yeah.
Hello. What's up, Dylan?
What's up, people? How y'all doing today?
Oh, okay, thanks.
That's good. It's better than not
You
okay.
remembered me, do you?
I'm not sure yet. Hold on, I haven't looked at the name. Who's talking?
Zol. It's Zol.
Oh yeah, I did. When you joined last time, I said Zol the second you joined. You didn't even hear me,
Oh, you
apparently.
did? Oh,
I did.
that's sweet. Hi. What's up, bro?
What's up, bro?
What are you guys debating this time?
Well, we were talking
We are
about...
debating quantum mechanics and its impact on recent physics.
This guy just joined. That's not true. But I'm down.
That's true.
Okay, I didn't need another of that schizo guy from last time. I didn't need another part of that.
Yeah.
What?
Let's
Not the schizo guy. What?
let's maybe not in this, because I'm on the stream and stuff, go into terms of like describing people by mental disorders.
He's mistaking me for someone else. I'm not the guy he's talking about.
I don't think you are either.
That's okay.
I think he's comparing what you just said to someone else who apparently had a more outlandish
I must
debate.
have misunderstood.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I must have misunderstood.
We're so peaceful here and chill and stuff. And again, I am live for guys who don't realize there is terms within Twitch, TikTok specifically, that are about speech. So let's.
So what is your viewership? What is your viewership, Dylan?
I don't know. I don't actually ever watch the view count. but I'm new to this. I've got 500 followers on Twitch in the last 2 months, and I've got how many 260, 280 on TikTok, and I haven't
Keep grinding, man. Keep
uploaded
grinding.
anything yet, really, bro. I'm definitely just kind of clip farming on my competitive games and trying to get good content to just dump over
What
time.
are you playing?
Well, I've got high level compatibility in like Counter-Strike or Call of Duty. I could easily snipe in those games on like a very high level, like in Sniper Rifle, right? And then, and I think those are really good just to say, hi, I'm this person, come hang out. And then after that, I really prefer anything with PvP in it. There's the game Escape from Tarkov I bring up a lot.
Yeah. I know
So
that game.
I don't play that game, but I do play a medieval variant of it right now. The only one that exists that's popular is Dark and Darker. Yeah, and I don't know how much y'all know about that, but that game has got a terrible developer who runs the whole thing, and the whole community will tell you, not just me, he could be doing dramatically better with this game. Yeah, and so I'm into that genre though. I like the idea of loot and extract, but I want it to not be guns anymore because of how many cheaters are prevalent in the shooting games that I was raised on. I like shooters, I like first-person shooters a lot, but I think there's too many cheaters on any high-level end of any of them. Once you start playing the ranked, or you put loot involved, like Tarkov, where you're making profit within the game, people cheat. And they don't want to, you know, even if it's not full-on hacks, they play like duo and solo. And they go team up in a game that should be a solo experience. And so I'm really hoping that genre gets a lot of love, and they make a better variant of Dark and Darker, which is already something coming out by a shady company called Mistfall Hunters. Really looking forward to playing that game. I placed 40 in the world for their playtest. Yeah, so medieval PvP is really big right now. I think that people who cheat on those, I have a skill gap I could reach on them.
What's the sort of play in that game?
You go around and kill monsters, and then eventually people are also in the same dungeon as you, killing monsters, and eventually you run into each other.
But,
and then the guys who survive that
how's
encounter.
the sword play?
Oh, the sword?
Is it like in Chivalry or Minecraft?
Okay,
or
it's
Combat.
It's like Elden Ring, you know Elden Ring or Dark Souls games?
Yeah.
That would be what I would compare it to in the new one, the Mistfall Hunter one that's coming out. But in Dark and Darker, it's like that too. You just move slower, and then it's first person in Dark and Darker, whereas the other one is like a iframe dodging, stamina management, Elden Ring kind of gameplay, but it's faster, right? You don't move as slow as you do in Elden Ring or the Dark Souls games in these. You're quicker and you're third person. And you've got like, I mean, it's just like hit scan kind of, I guess. If your sword's close enough and you hit when you swing, you hit them for the warrior. Or if you have a bow and you shoot it quick in the right area, you get a hit scan shot.
Chivalry 2 has one of the best sword play mechanics that I've played with. So.
Do you know For Honor?
Yeah, it's not really comparable.
Yeah, so I think the For Honor is kind of good, but it's also not exactly what you'd want out of those games either. I agree Chivalry is good. I think that this is basically doing the same thing as Chivalry, except for the freedom and movement is better, right? Like you can actually dodge people just by moving out of the way if you're smart enough about your spacing, let's say, right? Whereas Chivalry, you have slower movement overall. To do that's harder, but not impossible, right? You can just move out of a hit in that game too. I think there should be a little bit more movement though, is my point. Like in Elden Ring, I remember you only could dodge if you wanted to hit the other guy. You see what I'm saying? I think moving should be a part of that mechanic as well as the dodge and stamina system. Would be
but Chivalry tries to be realistic, and dodging on the ground like every 2 seconds is not really realistic. So
I agree. That's why I'm not big on those games either.
Yeah, I see your point.
Yeah, we want something better. You know, you want something better than Chivalry. You basically just said that, and they could be doing more for it, for sure. This has been a problem with Dark and Darker.
I'm gonna go now.
Yeah, word. Have a good night, man.
Thanks, man. Go back.
Absolutely. The speed of the movement has always been a problem with a lot of these games. I definitely agree. You shouldn't just rely on a dodge. It's not fun.
You're playing another game right now.
Yeah, it's a one that requires very little thought to do, so I can put much more attention into the talks. You know, it's a child's game. It's like Minecraft but 2D. It's great.
Oh, okay, like Minecraft.
Yeah. Yeah, but just again 2D. They also have a lot more weapons and stuff, and I could get intense fights on here. To progress, you got to fight bosses. So, you know, I'm just taking my time. There's a hole in the ground in the game that I'm making. If you watch me fall through it here in a second, you get new biomes as you go deeper in the map, and I'm trying to reach all the way to the Inferno or Hell, whatever you want to call it. Once you're down there, you can...
there is a hell?
Yeah, I'm almost there. You see how the lava is? I get lower. And then the background of the map, if you can kind of see it changes from like brown to blue to whatever biome you're in, right? Be it like jungle or desert or whatever. So as you get lower here, it gets like thicker brown, and then it gets like to a purple color, which actually signifies you're in the hell biome.
And just for fun, you're going to hell?
Well, the actual end boss, they have it's called a mode, I guess you could say. Like this is easy mode right now, but once I get to hell and I fight a specific boss down there, that's where the next level of progression comes in the game. You've got like copper or bronze ore, right? And then you've got like iron, and then you've got like silver, and then after silver goes gold and up. But once you've beaten this specific boss in hell, the copper, the silver, and the iron all turn into 3 new higher level materials to craft with from everywhere on the map. And so you progress to the next. So I'm just getting it ready, so when I've collected enough stuff and leveled up whatever things I need to do and get enough armor, I'm ready to just fight the boss when I want. Also, I get the resources from down here too early by doing this.
Okay.
Yeah, they call it a elevator, what I'm making. It's like the instant way to get down to the harder modes of the map. Elevator. It's great, right? It's a good game, dude. Yeah. And it's super cheap and like super small to download. It's like, I think 500 megabytes or something, the whole game. And there's a lot. There's a lot to it. It's very impressive, really. The other thing too is there's modes by default, right? You can play a classic experience where there's less monsters. I'm playing the hardest mode possible for the first time. So I just haven't done it yet.
So you must die often.
Oh yeah, consistent as hell. If I run into a monster that normally wouldn't do as much damage, they're hitting me for like 3/4 of my health in one hit. So 2 hits and I'm done from really easy monsters even, until I get better armor and more life. Yep. And again, it's super easy. This elevator thing is super easy to do passively. I'm very much able to appreciate a conversation still.
And thinking, using your brain.
Yeah, there's not much of that with this. It's fun.
Yeah, for the question, what would move you wrong?
Love that. I really do love that.
I like the way you thought about it, and you goes like, nothing.
Yeah, you like that? That was good, huh? I was trying to reverse psychology you to make you think I was gonna answer. That was the point. Yeah. Right.
Nothing. I'm like, yeah, okay. I understand.
Yo, luck.
I like when people try to think of a really good way to how do you call that? Falsify their claim.
Falsify that claim?
Yeah. When someone arrives with a claim like which that I disagree with, and they answer something else than nothing.
Yeah.
That's my preferred answer, right?
Good.
And when they know what would prove them wrong, and I'm like, oh cool, let's see if the word convey or if it's according to reality, right? Or if it's not.
Well,
that's reality says.
The part where a less wise guy might fall for it, and you might do it better, yeah, in my opinion, is don't start with the flat earth thing before the proven wrong thing. Because now I'm extra skeptical. I'm not, how should I say, like hypnotized into proving myself wrong, right? You almost want to lead with a better example. That one makes me so much more skeptical that I would be questioning why you're trying to get me to prove myself wrong. Whereas if you said something like, you know, normally people do prove themselves wrong all the time when they do this. They all the time buy bread thinking the bread is good, but they find out within 2 days it was moldy. And you make it like a more relatable, understandable conclusion as to why I would prove myself wrong, right? That's a terrible example, but you know what I'm saying, right? You got to give
Thank you.
You got.
I was like, how is yours better?
It's not. It's really not. Absolutely.
Like, nah.
Yeah, but you know what I'm
Give
saying.
Me another one.
Well, I haven't
No,
thought
I
about
don't,
it.
Because it is universal. The
yeah, but it's still
the claim about flat earther.
Yeah.
Many people agree they have unreasonable claim.
Right.
But if you have another one than the flat earth, so some people would say, yeah, well, it's still reasonable. So it's really hard to find a reasonable not claim, but a reasonable
problem.
A claim that is not reasonable for most people.
So the problem with that one specifically that I noticed, and why I feel like you should change it, has to do with the fact that when I think of a flat earther, the second thought I have is, other than I don't agree with it maybe, or it's crazy, which is a normal standing of most people, right? The other thought I have is that those people are heavily judged. And am I about to get judged right now? That's what I think immediately, which makes me want to be more skeptical of your question.
So what would be a better one?
Again, I haven't given it enough thought yet, but it would definitely have to do with something.
You wanted to use your brain, go ahead, use it.
Stupid. It would have to do with something that involves where people are easily proven wrong. And it's
but it's universally, and some people really believe in it.
Not necessarily. I think it could be simpler than that.
Yes, it has to be a claim that people believe in.
Well, no, that's kind of defeating the point of the setup, I think, though. Because if it's a claim that everybody believes in, then why would they question it? And you need to make people question that what they're even thinking is able to be proven wrong without them knowing it. Right? You almost need to hypnotize them, like I said.
The claim, the earth is spherical, everybody upholds it, almost everybody. But there are people who disagree with it. And that's the type of claim that I am looking for. A claim that most people would agree with, but where there are more than one person who disagree with and have opinion, example, evidences to support their disagreement.
Right. Right, I see what you're saying, kind of. At the same time, you're missing the hypnosis part, I think, what I'm trying to say. If you're going to make me sound like a dummy by asking me a question to prove that I'm wrong myself, you almost want to set that up with a super valid reason. Doesn't have to be a belief, I would think. A super valid reason for why people prove themselves wrong all the time. You want to make it likable. You want to make it relatable. Right? That doesn't have to be something that everybody knows.
How? I don't know how.
Well, okay, that's
the best I could find, and I don't find any better.
I don't think that's
because there are so many people who agree that the Earth is not spherical.
Yeah, but there's also a lot of people
is crazy.
Right, and a lot of people agree that that's a skeptical belief too. And why would you think that? Which makes them question this software. Okay, hold on. Let me just give me silence for a second here. Let me go into this brain. What is something people do all the time that they're always wrong about, even though they did it? Right? That's the question I would pose.
Cheating on your wife?
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, but then you got to still reword it so that it says, prove me wrong about your point you just made around this whole useless discussion we had. Prove your point as to why you're wrong, right? You know you're wrong when you cheat on your wife, but you did it anyway. Like that, I don't know. Hold on, that doesn't feel. You still got to word it correctly. That's where the real thought comes in. Is how do you word it correctly? And I don't think that. I think that's kind of a loose one too. I don't know if I would use that example either, because then it's invoking emotions. You almost want it to be emotionless and like attachmentless to be able to say this.
Flat Earth, flat Earth, flat Earth.
Well, yeah, and some people, like you said, are really passionate about it, and some people are really passionate about not dealing with that at all, as well as backing it up and believing it's real. So I don't feel like it's the right one. I don't know what would be the right one though. You're technically tricking people. You admit that, right? You're trying to trick people into proving themselves wrong about a point they're passionate about, right?
Not really. It's not a trick. If you have a good measurement tool for your claim, whatever the claim is, it doesn't matter. If you're right, you have the right result from your falsification claim.
Yeah.
It's not a trick. If the claim is true, and according to reality, you will have a tool to measure it, and so that you can be falsified. And the tool, when you use it, points towards you being right instead of you being wrong. But if the tool were to give this measurement, then you would be proven wrong. But it doesn't. So that's why you're right. Whatever the claim you hold must have such a tool that will prove you wrong.
Because why do you I still don't get why you would want to prove me wrong, or why I would want to prove me wrong. It's a thing I believe in.
Think of a claim, any claim.
The sky is blue.
Okay, cool. So if I were to hold the claim, the sky is blue, someone comes to me and says, okay, do you believe that true claims or reasonable claims has to be open to falsification? And I say yes. And then they say, what would prove you wrong? I would say, well, I would take this measurement tool, opticometer, like the thing that measures the length of light. Optometer. I don't know how to say that in English. Anyway, that the machine pointed to the sky and observe a different wavelength than blue. That's how I would be proven wrong. It'd be easy. But when I do that and I point towards the sky, the wavelength that is on the machine is blue, and therefore I'm right.
Right. Yeah. Okay. The benefit from proving someone wrong. Like, we've actually been on this for a second even. Have you figured out that my spirituality is terrible and needs work, or?
Yeah, of course. That's what the question when I say religion is bad is a terrible claim, a terrible position to hold, because it is unfalsifiable. That's what you demonstrated to me. So I'm like, okay, cool. You demonstrated that your position is unfalsifiable. Therefore, I pointed out the mistake that you made. You arrived to a conclusion that is based on feelings, not actual things or reasonable things. And yeah, your worldview must have crumbled if you want to be reasonable.
Yeah, I don't feel like I agree, but
yeah, why not?
Because I'm happy in my state, which is the same state that other people are happy in with their religion. And if those feelings are the point of the dilemma, like you're saying, there's the feelings that like people are having about, like, what I don't know, I feel like we even discussed it with the optics thing. If your feelings are what's making you feel negative about the haircut, well, my feelings are that like religion isn't needed to have good feelings. And if that's part of what the beauty of religion is supposed to hold for you or other people, and I get that same belief without religion, then I'm still not wrong. I get the same thing religion offers without being a part of that religion. Because if the hypotheticals are still like...
It gets tricky, because I could hold the claim that your good feelings are not real good feelings, like a drug addict or...
I could say the same about you, though.
Alcoholic.
Why can't I say the same about you? What makes your feelings more valid than mine?
Because of the majority, that's why.
Yeah, but the majority is still the difference between... We even talked about that, too. The objective truth isn't a point until the majority feel that way. It doesn't change the fact that there's still... people who are doing things, say, the wrong way, but exhibiting good life. I used this analogy the other day. There's a guy who's rich and has all the money in the world, and he takes his Fiji water bottle and goes up to the guy who's drinking from a pond because he's homeless. And the homeless guy who's surviving and living off that pond, he doesn't want the water bottle when the rich guy offers it to him. The rich guy's like, here, have some of my water. I don't want to see you drink from this disgusting pond. And then the homeless dude's like, I don't need your water. I have my life here. And this life is still giving me life. Now, his life obviously isn't going to be as beneficial as that beautiful Fiji crystal clear water, but he's still surviving every day. His lifespan may be shorter. But to say his worth and his life, love, and enjoyment of world is less than the rich guy is also just subjective. Like, he is having a good life even though he's drinking bad water. Because he's waking up another day. I mean, you can go into all the other dilemmas around the situation, but realistically, that guy is waking up every day, and he's waking up happy. And the rich guy is waking up every day, and he's waking up happy too. Right? So that's
desirable.
Well, yeah, that's where you're putting feelings into it.
The life that is good is a life that is desirable.
Right. If your life is good, you're already good. Like, you don't need extra stuff to... I mean, this goes back to the minimalist thing, too. I feel like I could be the guy drinking from the pond. Like, objectively true. If I only had that option and that was all that was dealt to me as a hard, right, like life, and I made the best of that life, then what's the difference at the end of the day? There really isn't one.
There is.
I mean, not if we're talking on a minimalist lifestyle, especially when religions... are saying minimalist is the only way to be, that these things don't actually matter. Like, is my life literally worse than the rich guys? Or is that just an opinion? Because if my feelings don't feel that way, and my happiness isn't swayed...
So, you used literally instead of objectively, am I correct?
I mean, no, both of which are the same difference. Objectively or literally, they're both the same. I don't think that...
Cool. So, when you claim that it is not objectively the case, you are mistaken. Because, again, majority rules. Most people don't want to be living from the pond.
Yeah, but I'm not saying what objectively... I guess, okay, then I'm saying literally. I don't mean that objective people obviously would want to live from the pond. What I'm saying is that the guy who lives from the pond, with this analogy, is to prove that the rich guy and him are both equal in spiritual wealth, which is where my religion's driving the point, or my spirituality and lack thereof religion, right? And compared to your religion, which is supposed to be giving you this other grand, better way of thinking, right? So if my spirituality...
They're not equal.
They are. They absolutely are.
I'm telling you they're not, because you don't know how to measure.
You're right. I think mine's better. I would agree.
You're again, how would you falsify the claim that they are spiritually equal? Your answer would be, I don't know. There's no way to measure it.
Oh yeah, there is though. Is
okay.
That's kind of the point.
What would prove you wrong?
Stop it. Listen, Linda. This is the thing.
No, I won't stop it. I'm telling you claims over claims over claims, and you're saying, no, Luke, this is not true. I know what I'm saying, and what I'm saying is true. I'm saying, no, it's not, and let me demonstrate to you that it is not true by asking you what would prove you wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And then you realize that it is false, and then you move along for the next claim, and you add those claims up one on top of another one. I'm like, okay, you can add them as much as you want, but they don't hold any true value. Well, not any. There is some true value, which is yours, but
right. But
not
those...
as much as mine.
Well, again, I would argue the same difference in where we're at a dead end, right? Because I could tell you to prove yourself wrong, and I could say,
Yes, I can.
just like I said, that I feel like mine has more grandeur that's not delusional, even like a heaven, and I don't believe that that place needs to exist, and me to have a goal to reach it through Christianity's logic.
But do you realize that I could prove myself wrong?
Yeah, of course I do, bro. But that's like literally debating semantics by saying you're smart before you debate the semantics. It's another one of the. I don't think this is actually super difficult or useless. At the same time, useful either, right? It's not useless to say this stuff, but it is technically just a semantical debate about how you can prove yourself wrong. This isn't super complex. When you said you were going to give me a complex thing, this really isn't. This is, if anything, just as dumb as the first one. It's like a word problem, bro. Or like an emotional problem. It kind of is. As far as like what... We're just debating ourselves on top of debating whatever we want to talk about. It's like adding another layer to it.
If you want to have a debate, you need to prove to me that you're reasonable. Up to now, you have yet to prove to me that any of your claims are reasonable ones. If you are having claims that are unreasonable, you're not having a debate. You're just having a monologue, talking to yourself.
Well, okay, aren't you the guy who came in here and said you don't like debates and that you just like to talk about things, or was that someone else?
Someone else.
Okay, so I'm not partial to either one, really. I don't mind a debate at all. But for me to prove myself to be reasonable to you is a thing I can try to do, which involves a monologue, right? And if I don't do it, then it's not reasonable to you. It's just reasonable to me. That's where the debate is part of it, right? You want to convince the other guy that your side has a validity, right? You want to convince the other guy that your debate's reasonable, right?
If you want that, you are the one who used the word debate.
No, you just did.
Yeah, I repeated back to you.
Well, I asked, did you want to do that?
What you were doing wasn't a debate, was just giving your opinion.
That's what you did. You pointed it out. Exactly. So I'm trying to...
Okay.
Do you want to debate it, or do you want my opinion? Or do you want my claim to be reasonable?
Yeah, well, I have your opinion, so... Yeah, I understand that your opinion is your own and you don't have any way to falsify it, so... Yeah, your opinion are unreasonable, so I don't think I want more.
So my opinion is not my own. You've clearly proven, and my opinion is not reasonable in your eyes. You've proven in your eyes, right? And so now you don't want more of it at all.
It is your own.
Right. No, it's not my own.
Your opinion is your own.
No,
right?
But it's all these other subjective truths that other people have put out. You said that initially just now. You said that it wasn't my opinion.
What? Oh, sorry, I misspoke. I meant that your opinion wasn't reasonable, but your opinion is your own. It's not on anyone else's.
Right. So you're looking for objective truths as a whole within the community's bias to now be reasonable.
Yeah, what I want to have is information about reality that I didn't have before. Obtain knowledge that I didn't have before. But when the knowledge that I obtain in this conversation is that there are people who still hold their view of the world without being reasonable or being able to argue for why they believe what they believe.
Okay, well, I believe
that's
what...
the knowledge I required. One more.
Okay, well, then I want to clarify pretty bad, because I believe what I believe due to the mindfulness and the selfishness that this has taught me, so that I can keep my glass or bowl full, so that I'm able to put out that positive light on other people too. There needs to be a level of mindfulness and a level of selfishness so that you can at least see other people's opinion, but know that whether they're wrong or right, that is still just their truth. That's where the separation comes at the end of it. But at the end of the day, if I want to sit there and convince you that my logic is good too, maybe not better, then I have to find a way to show you what I'm doing is good for me, right? And so that you can see through my truths that yours is...
it could be shown.
Yeah.
You already done that.
So this is the point that I was making. I was about to go into. Listen,
you,
I'm almost done. Manifestation, right, is a part of this belief system. The idea that when you speak things into existence, they can be true. And they can't just be true to you, but they can actually appear in front of you so that they're physically true too. That's the biggest, the next biggest part of this after you realize to love yourself is that you can love other people, and then that you can use that love of yourself strong enough to manifest that truth and truths to other people too. Be it a physical object or just an opinion, right? You want to be able to make things possible for you and other people. And you want to show them that they can do it for themselves. That's the bigger core belief in the next follow-up step of aligning your chakras and being oneness, right? So that you can be oneness with everything. Does that kind of make sense? Do you get it a little bit better now? Or no? Am I explaining this right? No? Hold it.
I don't think you're explaining things. I think I understood what you said, and the trouble I'm having.
Okay.
Oh, it's not a trouble, but
okay.
What I'm understanding is like someone who's justifying drugs or alcohol. They say, I am happy. I know what my goal is. I want to drink more. I want to take my drug because I need those to be able to help the others. So they are justifying their
I get it now.
position with what?
You're comparing me to hippies. I got it.
Yeah, it's or any other false belief of what is good for them. You understand?
Yeah, so I stopped smoking weed like 3 years ago now. I still socially smoke when I choose to. I do smoke cigarettes because I've smoked since I was 15 and I like them. But other than that, I don't consume on any kind of frequent basis anything other than alcohol, again, maybe twice a month or less. At, again, social experiences when I'm with people. But I don't sit here and speak these things from home as a drunk or even a stoner, let alone a hard drug addict. I don't believe any of those things are needed to, the same way I was talking about minimalism. I could live with none of those things, and I know I could. Absolutely. I'm choosing not to, but it doesn't change the fact that I know if I didn't have them, I wouldn't die tomorrow. Right? And I know I could easily go on without doing those things. I could compete in any level of life with or without them, but it doesn't change the fact that I don't need them. That being said, it's not a part, like your example is so loose and relevant to people who are struggling with those things, but it doesn't. I mean, just to equate it to me by default because of my belief being similar to, again, what the majority thinks is how this works, isn't really fair to me either. Right? Like, there's a lot of people who do rely on those things that are hippies and think they need those things to get through life. And I don't. And I also believe the same thing the hippies do.
If do you have kids?
No. I don't plan to either.
You don't plan to? Okay.
No.
Do you have like niece or?
Yeah.
Are you an uncle?
Yeah.
Someone?
Yeah, I'm an uncle.
Okay.
A lot of times over, I'm an uncle.
So, 5? Wow.
A lot of times, not 5 more. But I'm not going to say how many more. A lot of uncle.
Okay, cool. More than one, it's enough.
Yeah.
For my example.
Okay.
When it comes to teaching those kids, they will look up to you because you're older.
Right.
To them, compared to them. So the trouble is that you will present them something that is your truth, but not the truth.
So that is where I disagree with you again. They have parents. I'm not their parent. And if their parents want to present them with, say, Christianity, the truth apparently, right? Or a truth is how I still look at it. I wouldn't have a problem with that, and I wouldn't try to convince them otherwise, especially until they were old enough to be an adult and have a good enough brain on their shoulders to have a debate about why they're right or wrong. But to say that your truth is better than my truth is the problem with why we have wars and all these negative things around people not being able to just enjoy life. These things that I said initially where this doesn't actually help you. I still believe that. I think that those things can help you, and if you live by them, they can do good things for you, but there are certain rules and moral dilemmas within them too that are not agreeable to another vast majority, right? Maybe not majority, but another vast set of people. What really happened and why your objective truth of what is right exists is because wars were won, and the leaders, the same people who we have to look up to, the same way those kids would look up to me, are preaching it and saying it's the only way that it is are won over wars and death. If spirituality, hippie warriors had won, the consensus would be the other way by default. And you would be telling me this from this different perspective. You would be a spiritual person like me if you're agreeing with the majority. That's the other part of this that's kind of wild in my mind, right? If spirituality led the war and won the fight physically, and you're just agreeing with the majority and saying it's the truth, you would be on the other side of this debate. So I just proved you wrong.
You proved me wrong in which claim?
In your truth. If your truth was the actual majority and you're just agreeing with the majority to say that it's the truth, well, what if spirituality had won the Roman wars? What if spirituality was Genghis Khan? What if spirituality was the lead example by default and you're just following the pack saying it's the truth? Now you would be spiritual and not Christian.
It's a possibility.
Or, on top of that, if you weren't that and you were a devout Christian, you would be hearing from me that the truth is mine and the majority's. And objectively, you would be wrong. In both regards.
Okay. Think of flat earthers winning the war.
Right, and they would be objectively right too. They would be the majority. And you, as someone who jokes and laughs about flat earthers being wrong, would now be on the other side of that fence saying, I still believe the world's spherical. But objectively, you would have been wrong because they won the war.
That's where the falsification claim comes in.
Exactly. So I'm saying that if your basis of the truth and the basis that I should be teaching the children is the truth, that's just the majority's truth. It doesn't actually mean it's correct.
If you want to go against the majority, you can, but you need evidence to do that.
No, I don't.
You
I actually, I don't need the evidence. That's entirely incorrect. I just told you why I don't need the evidence. Because I could have won the war. My hippie people could have won the war.
The way wars are won is by bringing evidence.
Oh no, I'm talking about the majority. If that's the truth, and the majority are the truth, and that's what your claim is right now, and why it's the truth, right? That's as you said.
What you have to understand is that the majority is brought up by evidences.
From
that's how evolution works. The evidence, the thing that is reality, force you towards. Even if you don't want to, that's outside of your will.
Yeah, and my claim is simply that that may not have been the case, and you haven't actually responded to that claim.
I did.
Not
I
towards the
pointed out
claim.
that it couldn't have been otherwise.
Okay, so
and I explain why.
Right. So if your religion and your truth that you say is the truth gives you this thing that I'm talking about without applying it, this thing that I'm feeling and this sense of security in heaven, or that God loves me, or that I need to worship him to get these outcomes, and my thing still gives me, my belief still gives me that without those things, right? I'm wrong by default within your eyes, right?
No.
Okay, well, I get those things, and you get those things, and I'm right in that way. But I'm still wrong in the sense of, I guess, heaven and hell, right? Because that's the other alternatives to this. If I don't believe in Jesus, then I'm in hell, right?
If you disagree that there is an heaven, if you say there is no heaven,
yeah,
then you are mistaken. You are wrong.
Okay.
If you say that you don't need heaven to be happy, or fulfilled, or feel plenty, or feel full, this thing is right. It's not wrong, but it is as right as someone who says I don't need to stop taking drugs.
Okay, so I don't actually what I don't believe in within those papers of scripture, I don't believe in hell specifically. I don't argue that there could be a heaven because I don't think that there's a place that is evil. I believe that if there is a heaven, I would be welcomed because I'm not inherently someone who's evil. And I try to push good on people that want good and are asking of that and try to learn good. But I don't believe, and why I stepped away from Christianity, is that hell and the devil are real at all. I think the idea of temptation is real. I still don't believe in the devil. I think the idea of try again because you messed up your life exists. I don't think that's hell, right? I don't think hell is real at all. But to say that there isn't a heaven is also to say that I don't believe that there's like a oneness or a spiritual connection of some kind of a thing that we're all connected to. That's still kind of where I'm at with spirituality. Is I don't think there's a hell, but I know there's not a hell, but I don't think that there is necessarily a heaven or not. I'm skeptical on the heaven part, but I'm not skeptical on hell. I think hell is just a way to implement rules. That makes way more sense in my mind. Especially when the idea is if you don't conform to this, you're either wrong or we're killing you to take over and make sure you at least believe that we are here. Like the wars fought over Christianity are insane and huge. Yeah? And that part to me still just doesn't ever set right either. It doesn't seem necessary.
Wait. You're making too much sense.
There's
First
a lot
of all,
there. Sorry.
You say there is no hell. Second of all, you say that the war are fought against it are huge. Are you talking today or are you talking in history of mankind?
The history. Yeah, the history of mankind. Those wars to promote Christianity were massive. And I don't think essential at all.
Compared to what?
Again, any other belief that has waged war for their opinion, I don't agree with, which is why I don't agree with religion.
It is massive compared to what?
Wait, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. May I ask a question? It seems Dylan is taking the standpoint, correct me if I'm wrong, that religion was controlled to create the masses. It kind of sounded like that's what you were saying when I joined the call.
Well, yes, and also not just necessarily that, but like to mainly that, I would argue at this point, yeah. But also because inherently we wanted people to try harder to be better, right? Which I don't disagree with the good sides of any religion and why I don't say any of them are bad. But I don't think that hell is real and this logic makes sense to implement rules and you go to a place where you suffer eternal damnation if you failed. I don't think no god of any religion would make that make sense. Or they wouldn't have created people to begin with, especially giving them free will. It just doesn't equate to each other at all, right? I think that if you messed up and it was so bad that you did such a horrible thing on your time on this earth, you would just go again. I think reincarnation makes way more valid sense than a hell, even. And maybe they give you the soul choice to this new baby or whatever you want to say happens there. Maybe that life's harder or easier, but you still have to learn these lessons before you tap out into a heaven, let's say. I don't think you ever tap out though, really. I think it's just a consistent cycle of some kind. But I don't think any of the stuff that comes with religion that's negative makes sense, other than a way to make people try harder to be better.
Like Zionism?
I don't believe in Zionism. This is all a joke, the stuff I put on there. It's actually direct opposite, right? Like rich, I love explaining this, direct rich people with like that same high value, and then Buddhists who don't actually need anything to still be happy. It's like an idiom, I guess, or a joke in that way. I also joined this server a long time ago, didn't know it was this like awesome or relevant. People in here all the time, right?
Gotcha.
It's just a contradiction joke. There's like polar opposites, right? Buddhism and Zionism.
Wow, you're kind of brave streaming this on Twitch. What if somebody just came here and started spewing the N-word?
Well, I just mute them and lock them out of the room. I didn't actually know any of this was possible until 2 days ago now. I started doing this. But as long as it's not me pushing that logic consistently, I don't get in trouble. And if I call you guys out and you change, I'm not tripping. You can stay, right? But if you don't change and you keep doing it, I have to boot you.
Gotcha. Yeah, that used to be a thing that it was the streamer's responsibility to vet whoever was,
speaking or whoever had those, could convey that message. And if somebody got through, then they would punish the streamer, which was kind of unfortunate. But
Yeah, it's more lenient now. I'm on board with defending when these things happen and saying that I'm not trying to advocate for them. Then I'm good. Doesn't matter.
Gotcha. Okay, good.
I've got too many hours of time where I haven't been that way for it to be like this one incident kills me at this point. They've seen that logic at this point.
Good stuff.
Yep. It has happened already in like the 3 days I've been in here. It's happened like 3 times already. Or people just saying outlandish, sexual, crazy, negative, dumb stuff. Yes.
What's the craziest thing you heard?
Bigfoot cock on repeat.
Bigfoot cock?
On
What?
repeat. And so we're going to go off of that subject now that we've emphasized on what happened. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's that simple. I didn't agree with it. I thought it was funny like anybody else would, but I can't, like, indulge it either for too long. And bro wanted to talk about it like it was his truth, so. Wild, right?
Gotta love the internet.
Also, it was kind of
wait,
intelligible.
wait,
it was
Dylan,
more funny. What up?
I kind of do have a counter argument to your what you were saying earlier
By all means.
about the whole religion